Do 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 do. We're live. Do 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 do.
Why are we still Jeopardy waiting?
Oh, I
It's
don't know.
I
And
say
everybody,
hello.
welcome back to the Challenger TCG live stream. I'm here with the GOAT, aka Colin Kaiser, fresh off his Runes and Rift 1K win after dominating his fellow man in what was a 10-round tournament, 7 rounds of Swiss and 3 rounds of Top Cut. Colin has arisen victorious. And for those of you who got to witness all that in all its glory, you got to see firsthand how broken the League of Draven is. But we're going to kind of go
Yeah.
over that today, and Colin's going to he's going to talk a little bit about his decks, some of the matches he played, and then we're going to talk about Bologna, what to expect, what we expect, what we're playing, etc., etc. So we're going to kind of
Mhm.
get to all that tonight. So without further ado, I'll hand the mic over to Colin, the king himself. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah, it was a good weekend. Honestly, that took so long. I was not happy with having to spend like 13 hours on a Saturday to have to go through all that. But that's just how these things go, right? Any sort of online event takes so much time. But it was ran well. Nothing against Runes and Rifts. It's just really difficult to organize an event like that. That's you know It was 7 rounds assist Swiss, and then yeah, the 3 rounds of Top Cut. So Top Cut ran pretty smoothly. Swiss had a couple of longer things, but yeah, it's just unfortunate nature of a couple of rounds going into overtime with extensions and all that sort of stuff. Um, and yeah, it's honestly more so than anything, it feels good to be able to just put it out there and be like, yeah, Draven's broken, guys, and then everyone on Twitter is like, haha, I don't believe you. I got the counter deck, and then first event of set two. Yeah, I just get to win the whole thing. So, granted, I am kind of known for winning the first event of a set release. So hopefully that continues into Bologna, and I didn't just like get rid of all of my luck here. So, um,
Uh,
yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. The Grats on the wins. There's nothing that obliterates mid-range Draven. There's nothing that obliterates it. No, I think at best you're hoping for like maybe I can't even think of anything that I'm like so afraid of that I think it's like a 40-60 favored matchup for them, or they got like a bit of an edge. I feel like Draven is equal to or favored into pretty much everything in the field. Um, it's at least going into these events, there's nothing that I just sit across the table and I'm like completely scared of. In theory, maybe the mirror is the best because that's a guaranteed 50-50. So that's always nice. No, I know Alex has tested a bit of this deck too, right? But from everything we've seen, there's nothing that's put up winning numbers into this deck, right?
no. No. I mean, like, no, not really. Like, it's post board that gets like makes it even worse. Like, there are some decks that I think can be a little favored game one. Like, I do think the Victor Hard Control can like give it a run for its money pretty well. But then just like once the post board comes in, that's like it's just not a thing. Like, especially if they're siding like the some of the tech cards that we have, like the
Mm.
card that makes a token that I can't think of its name off the top of my head, but yeah,
Yeah,
it
the assembly rig.
yeah, the assembly rig. Thank you, God. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I have not seen anything that's particularly impressive. I've seen strategies that I think are decent into it. The problem is most of these removal based strategies are completely invalidated by Ferris Forerunner, and I think that's the most effective strategy against Draven at the moment. Is just like this like Kaisa control, this like spawn camp Kaisa, these like Victor controls. I think those are the best ways to target Draven. It's just once all the Ferris Forerunners come in, once all the Mind Splitters come in, this is just like invalidated in my opinion. So
Yeah. It just surprises me as I see the Gubian in chat asking what to do into the removal Kaisa matchup. And yeah, it surprises me that people even want to play these decks because all these decks are just like you maybe get a coin toss in a Draven and then you're just like guaranteed to lose into Aurelia and like a lot of the rogue decks if you ever run into like some sort of weird camel deck, then that's probably going to be pretty rough for you. So you're doing all this to just get like a coin toss into Draven mid range, like, and that's at best case scenario. It's just strange to me that people are willing to do this. And that doesn't even include Miracle Draven, where Draven just absolutely pounds Kaisa and Ezreal and all these sorts of like singularity decks where it's like, oh great, you're gonna spend your entire turn to singularity 2 of my 7 units that I have in play. It's thumbs up, bud. Hope you can do that every turn until you die, because I've got free Nocturnes, free Rossas, free Battering Rams. They're just coming out every single turn and just pummeling you. So I will say that those matchups are annoying, but if you know how to play against them, they're not too bad.
And I will say, I think that Miracle Draven has a higher win rate into the nonsense decks, like the decks that try to target mid-range Draven, that don't really target mid-range Draven, but they sort of target mid-range Draven. You try to play these decks against Miracle, and you will get flattened when they even have a half decent hand. Like they just like those decks are very bad against decks that just shit out massive bodies very quickly. They don't apply enough pressure either. Is another issue I have with them, is they don't apply enough pressure quickly to even perform on the Miracle's brick hands, which is another issue I have with those like slower decks that try to grind Draven out. Is like they play against Miracles, and Miracles just like, all right, I just won't do anything. Like I'll just sit here, I'll play an Ezreal, I'll draw some cards, draw some cards, draw some cards. Oh, you scored like 3, maybe 4 points. Okay, here comes the army. Like, yeah, let's see your singularity kill 3 Battering Rams and 2 Rossas, bud. And oh look, I have the shovel. So even when you do that, next turn I will just like fizz, get my bushwhack, strap the shovel on another guy, go in, get my Rasa back, and just, oh, you can't kill this. I hold, get another one back, and it just spirals so quickly. So,
yeah, I think that's pretty well said. But
basically, why is Alex's video squished? Is my video? Does it look squished to you, Colin? Looks normal to me.
I don't know.
Does it?
We'll have to get some clarification.
We'll get our tech crew on that.
Alex is you're the tech crew right now.
Jamie,
if you can give some
clarification. For me. Jamie, pull up that clip, please.
Yeah, if you can give some clarification, as if you were talking to your 70-year-old grandfather to tell Alex how to fix this on his OBS. Then
you're like 60-year-old grandfather. Give me a break. I inherited my 87-year-old grandfather's laptop when he died. And let me tell you the horrors on that laptop. That man, there was not an ad he did not click on. It did not matter what it was. His laptop had more viruses than I think I've ever seen. Like, it just insane.
It's impressive. But yeah, if you're playing into the removal decks, yeah, I can get to that one next. We were kind of ranted a little bit. Game 1 sucks. If they win the die roll, you're going to lose. If you win the die roll, you're probably going to win. And that's just how that goes. Games 2 and 3, though, once you board into the hard bargains in Forerunner, then it's usually not a problem. You know, on the going first game, you get to hold up a hard bargain or a spinning axe on the Targon, or the Targon's Peak whenever you conquer that, which is quite nice. And then on the Obelisk game, you just get to go like turn 1 Draven and then turn 2 Ferris Forerunner into turn 3 Mind Splitter, and they just lose instantly. So, yeah, if you're losing game 1s, don't feel too bad about it. It's not even necessarily because of like you couldn't really pre-board for it. It's more about the battlefields that you get access to in games 2 and 3 that matter. But yeah, is there any hope for Set? I was just reading the guide update. It's tough. I did have some half decent games into Draven at one point when I was still doing like the arena bar shenanigans, but Rebuke just is usually going to cook you at some point, or Rebuke or Fight or Flight, some combination of these things. They're just going to draw so many cards, and they're always going to have more cards in hand than you. So I think the list that I posted is the one that has the best option to be able to beat Draven, and you're very good into like the rest of the field. I really like the look of Set going into this format, just because it's pretty good into all these like removal based decks, as Alex has said, and that's what people are trying to do to beat Draven, is just playing all these singularity decks. out of Ezreal, out of Kaisa. Like Set's just fantastic and all that. Um, but Rebuke is always just going to cook you. So that card is not fair. And at least I remember one of the Chinese events, 83% of decks were playing Rebuke. So that's the difficult part. So my recommendation is to just max on sabotages, hope that you can hit the Rebuke out of their hand, and then that way you can actually play the game. So um, yeah, that's my take on it. But definitely give it a shot. Um, Given my performance in this event, I'm trying to go for the dub at both Bologna and most likely Vegas. So that's why I haven't gotten too much time to practice with Set yet. But I'll definitely be trying to update that where I can once I'm back from those events and see if we can cook something up to be a little bit better into Draven than what I've already done with my. It's not completely limited, but maybe 30 or 40 games of testing.
Yep.
What do you think about the Ezreal deck you played in the finals? It's funny that you mentioned that because I don't want to. Well, I'll get to that shortly. We can go over my list. This is pretty optimized. I think I'm going to change maybe a couple cards here or there for Bologna and Vegas, but y'all that are here can know that it'll be pretty close to this. I'm going to have a couple more surprise things just out of people that I never want to like go into an event and let people know that there's just a card that I don't have in my deck or something to play around. So I think Blood Rush was the main one that was in my original list that I liked just having available. So if my opponent has to respect the Blood Rush, but they know that in this list it currently doesn't have it. But in the same retrospect, maybe I'll be able to get people if I put a Blood Rush back in my deck, and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know you played that card. I saw your list." And I'm like, "Yep." Change some stuff. So you'll see a couple of tech cards for anyone obviously in the Discord who has the guide. You'll be able to know my list that I'm submitting. But yeah.
Someone asked,
So
what about Aurora still too slow into Miracle?
yeah.
We've tested a lot. I mean, a lot of Miracle into Aurora, specifically MF Aurora, which we think is the best build right now. And we've tried everything. The real problem is the goddamn shovel. It's the fucking shovel, man. And I say this with such animosity because I would love all these nonsense decks that I've come up with that can like kind of go toe to toe with Draven. I actually think MF Aurora is the best. It is the best deck against. It's probably the only deck that I can say is like probably consistently just slightly favored against standard Draven, but you play against Miracle and you just get throttled every time. And it's the goddamn shovel. The shovel just makes it impossible because it lets their battering rams and their Rosses trade up into your Mind Splitters, and they just keep doing that until you're out of dudes, and then the shovel goes on the next guy and just brings back a unit. And then you don't have any fast units, so they hold and they get another unit. So now they've cleared your whole board and just generated effectively 2 free units. And we've tried everything, just absolutely everything we can, and it is a miserable, miserable experience, let me tell you. Colin, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but
No, that's really it. I mean, I'm glad to see Aurora gone. I know we have some Aurora fans here, but I think that deck has always been extremely miserable to play with or against, or it just comes down to a lot of, do you have it? If you do, I can't play the game. If you don't, then you don't get to play the game. So I'm surprised to see a card that creates as many non-games as that card does to exist in the first set of a game. So I personally am of the opinion that I'd love to see it gone, but it's a part of the game, and I totally accept that. So and respect it for anyone who just wants to gamble and go to the casino. Go nuts. That is totally your prerogative. So, but like Aurora was playable in set 1, even though it had a really bad matchup into like Victor, which was it was like the 4th most popular deck or something like that. Maybe the 5th most popular deck, right? So Aurora still finds a way to hold on. Obviously, Draven is the most played deck, but that's like a split between Miracle and Standard Draven. So I think people are more on the side of wanting to play Standard Draven than Miracle for the most part, just due to consistencies. And I don't even know which one's easier. They're just like different skill sets. So Yeah, but from what we've seen from performing lists, it's been about a fourth Miracle Draven and about three-fourths standard. So it just kind of depends. But yeah, that's if you're going to play Aurora, you just have to accept that that matchup's probably unwinnable. Just like we did in set one with Victor, except it's definitely a more popular version. Some of
Yeah,
the other lists do give it some struggles too. Like some of the Ezreal decks can give Aurora some real struggles. You're still
Rogue.
getting to Kaisa. Aurelia also can be a problem if they just ride the Stella coin. Then it's that's a problem for you too. But on the bright side, as Alex said, Standard Aurora is probably the best deck in the entire format at beating Standard mid-range Draven. So, um,
MF specifically.
yeah,
It has to have Mind Splitter. That
yeah,
is a
but
very important part of the equation, in my opinion. It needs to have a way to get in their hand and pick out the problem cards. I would not
yeah.
advocate for playing E Aurora right now, or really any other Aurora that isn't able to play Mind Splitter. And I know this was a bone of contention in our on our YouTube in some of the comments that some people really like Sivir Aurora. Um, if you want to know why I don't like Sivir Aurora, this is a great example. Actually, is Colin's match not this weekend, but the week before in the was that a Runes and Rift event as well? The one that you got ninth in.
No, no, that was
Oh, that was
ran
no,
by
no, no, no. That was Nova's. That was Nova's.
a silver
So,
set. Yeah,
yeah,
that was just Nova's event.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, Nova Riftbound's event. Go watch Vero's stream match versus Colin, and ask yourself how many times does this gold from Sivir matter, and then ask yourself how many times. Just watch that match and just do the count. How many times does the gold matter? And then ask yourself, had he been able to give a guy ganking, how much more that would have mattered. And that will do a great job to answer that question for you. And it's not that I think Sivir is an invalid deck or like it's just like unplayable as an Aurora deck. I just think MF is better. Like, and I think that match does a
Mhm.
great job of exemplifying why that is because I can tell you that if he can make ganking in that match, he's cooking Colin. Like, I think it's a 2-0, honestly. Um, at the very least, it's a 2-1. I mean, like like the gold is just like I think the gold is nothing, and they pretty much have the same chosen champs. They're just two chosen champs with accelerate. I think MF's is better, just slightly, just because it can untap things and give another guy ganking if you need to, or get another guy ready. Like, but yeah, that's kind of where I stand on that debate. Someone asked, what matchups do you want to go up to 3 hard bargain?
Mostly just the control matchups. So Kaisa, it's very important to see into Kaisa early on in order to catch their singularities or late in the game into warps or when they try to go like Fox plus Falling Star or something like that. It just does everything in the matchup. The card's insane into Kaisa, and I think it'll be one of the more popular decks. I didn't actually end up playing any Kaisas in this event. Uh, I definitely think that deck's gone down on the tier list than um, where it is, but I still think it's a solid deck. It's probably like an A tier deck. I just don't think it's quite S tier with Draven. I think Draven is solo S tier right now. So
Yeah, and someone asked,
um,
what do we think of Lucian aggro? Oh, sorry, I had you finish your thought. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that's mostly it. I know it's the 3 hard bargain is something that I've been questioned the most about, but yeah, trust me, you want your opponent holding that bag.
Someone asked, what do we think of Lucian? Thoughts on aggro Lucian? My thoughts on Lucian have been the same since I first played it. I think that deck relies heavily on its 2 card combo of Spear into Spear Triforce, and when you don't see that, the deck is very mediocre. When you do see it, the deck does what it's supposed to do. But even then, when you do see it, it doesn't operate at a level that is so above what exists right now, especially since like you run in and you get like rebuked and then you're just like sick or like there's still so many things you run in, they side in the thermo beam, you run into a thermo beam, you're extra sick because now you can't even try to redo your combo. Like, I think it's a fine deck. It's like probably the top of C tier, maybe like bottom of B tier for me. But I think
Mhm.
it's too fragile. It's a very glass cannony deck. I think when it gets all the pieces that it wants to do, the 2 weapons, the Lucian Sig spell. If you get the Bring Here 2 to top it all off, you're cooking. But outside of that, it's going to be a no for me, dog.
Yeah. Everyone against the odds. Yeah, you can play one if you're worried about Miracle. I think that card's obviously fantastic into Miracle Draven and not really much else. So if you're looking for a silver bullet into the Miracle matchup, then I think against the odds is your best option there. I think 3 Kai'Sa is necessary. Yeah, probably. At least the only thing that you could maybe change around is the top end, and as they're like kind of meta specific cards. Obviously, Bryn here is for the mirror and like Aurelia, but it's really bad into like Kai'Sa and Ezreal. So if you're not expecting much of the mirror or Aurelia, you could swap that around. Forerunner and Mind Splitter are just kind of universally good cards. Forerunner's a little bit worse into the purple decks with rebukes and stuff, unless you can slam it early and force them to rebuke it early. Mind Splitter is kind of always good, but only in certain spots. So it's kind of hard to go heavier on that. But yeah, like I said, the list is good. I think this is a great starting point for anyone just looking to play. If you want to change a couple cards here or there, then definitely go for it. I always recommend people like brewing a little bit with lists, as that really helps understand why the cards are there in the first place there. So I know the 3 Kai'Sa is the thing that I've been asked the most about, but yeah, unfortunately it's necessary. On eBay, you can still get some cheap $30 to $35 Chinese Kai'Sas. It'll take you a couple weeks for them to actually get to you, because I think they get delivered from China, but it's at least, essentially getting 3 Kai'Sas for the price of 1, now that you can actually use Chinese cards. As I got my Chinese spinning axes here, you can see on cam. So if you're looking for cheaper cards, that's what I recommend.
Someone asked, could Misfortune Aurora side to Miracles MF? It's not a thought I've ever had. Maybe? Probably
no,
not.
That's too many cards.
I think it's too many.
Way too many cards.
Shots. No, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. So we have...
I loved transformational sideboards like that in previous games, but yeah, with only having an 8-card sideboard, like it's just not enough to swap out.
So let's see. We've got a couple. Do you think 3 Kai'Sa is necessary? Is that double value Edison's World winner Harrison I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your Jiong LAO? It's okay. These guys are just having a conversation in our chat.
Yeah, let them have fun. I think that mostly covers this list. I think we can go on to the last thing I see. How do you feel about Piercing Light? Piercing Light's good. I think it's decent in the mirror.
Love the guns.
It's good into Kai'Sa. The guns isn't bad. So if you're looking for like a Kai'Sa / mirror / sometimes Miracle tech, you could play 1 or 2. I know one of the lists that I posted has one over the Falling Star in the sideboard, and I don't think that's a bad idea. So I like the Falling Stars because it's mostly the double up into like Darius is that really matters, and also the fact that you can just play it whenever. You don't need them to have a unit on the battlefield to do it. So I like the consistency of Falling Star in the main deck, but the guns is definitely a more powerful card when it is able to do its thing. So yeah, our hero turned to the dark side. Listen, I told everyone this, that like when I was the set guy in set 1, I tried to temper expectations and being like, listen, y'all, I'm playing set because I think it's the most interesting and fun deck for me and my play style. I'm not a set diehard. You're not gonna catch me playing set no matter what. I'm gonna play what I think I can win with. So yeah, and obviously that's become the case here. So yeah, I am a competitive player through and through. So yeah, just understand that that's where I'm coming from. Was it surprising not seeing any Aurelia on top 8? No, it was. I think a lot of people were kind of on this Ezreal deck as we get into it, and I am a little surprised because I figured Aurelia would be into this, but you have to take all these events with a grain of salt. Like anything can happen in all these. It's a card game at the end of the day. You get bad matchups, you get bad draws, and it doesn't matter if you're the best player or the best deck in the format. Nobody can ever consistently win all of these events. You gotta just understand that it's always a gamble, and all we can do is increase the odds in our favor as much as possible. So
Hey,
I don't. It's not that I think Aurelia is a bad deck. It's just,
so,
yeah, it wasn't her day, or maybe there weren't good enough players on her.
uh, uh, were you answering the question about why Aurelia hasn't reached done well in championships?
Just was it surprising not seeing Aurelia in top eight? I didn't see one
Okay,
about
so
championships. Is that like
I'll
the
circle
Chinese
back to this
events?
question, but someone brought up something that maybe we've discussed and I just forgot because we don't play Lucian. You can't play Relentless Pursuit without a weapon in play.
Uh,
Did
Let
we
me
know
see.
that?
I'll have
I'm
to look
pretty
up the
sure we
card.
played Relentless Pursuit without a weapon in play. So this would kind of be an important ruling because if that's the case, Lucian is infinitely more dog doo doo than I thought it was. Because
I
that
don't
card
know if it's that much
it
worse,
matters.
but
It's ride the wind, but now you can't activate it without a weapon in play. Like it was actually a good sig spell before. Like now
yeah.
you could like move in with Lucian, ride to the other side, and then he could just do the double like that because that's how you scored up before you got to your combo, right? Like because you need to score 4 points to make your combo actually win. So like if you can't activate it without even a weapon now, it's so much worse. I mean, that probably
Let's
eliminates
see.
at least 30 to 40% of the times when you play it. I imagine. I don't play a lot of Lucian, so I'm pulling those numbers out of my ass chat. Don't send me an angry inbox later. Um, someone in the meantime, while you're
Yes, you
looking
have to
that
have a
up,
weapon in order to play Relentless Assault.
wow, that makes Lucian even worse than I
Yeah.
thought. I take it back.
Yeah,
C
it's all
tier,
right. Lucian was just too good, chat. We had to
C
nerf him.
tier. Uh, I often wonder how many of these things are just poor wording and how many of these things do they intend because it works like that. But I question when they worded the card, did they intend for it to work like that? I don't feel like it, but anyways,
Yeah,
that's
especially when they're
irrelevant there, I
optional
guess.
costs like that. Yes, it is just a kind of a freak thing of how the game is
In
currently working.
In your opinion, why hasn't
So,
Aurelia reached a significant position in championships? Two words or names. Bring here Thunder Song. I think it's plain and simple. That's a card that just
mm,
keeps it from truly reaching its the greatness it deserves. Is that card is just like as close to a silver bullet as you can get for that deck. It's just like I scored a 6. I play Bryn here, and if I have literally anything, if I have a rebuke, if I have a fight or flight, you just die instantly.
yeah,
So
it's
that's
just
why.
inconsistency too. Even beyond that, it's kind of a reactive deck where you have to draw the right portions of your deck to line up with your opponents every single turn, and they just kind of have to have them in the first place, right? So if my hand is like double switcheroo, double rebuke, you lose the game. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. You're not going to have three, or even if you have three not so fast, then assuming they have the power to play all these cards, like you lose on the spot, right? And even if I just have one rebuke, I'm going to play it every single time, and it's like it's just a check for did you draw your not so fast? Even if we say 70 or 80% of the time you do, that means 20 to 30% of the time you're losing the game on the spot. And to go through an entire tournament like that is difficult to say the least. It's just a constant check. And yeah, what we cut for the odds? Thermo Beam wasn't great. I think two was maybe a bit overkill. You go down to like one of those. I liked the units out of the board. They were good. The extra Falling Star wasn't super necessary. I put it in there for the rat because I was so tired of the rat just like bouncing around. I just wanted to nuke that guy every time I saw him. And I heard that Ezreal would be popular in this event. I just didn't think it would be the Ezreals that we saw. Um, doesn't read like you need a weapon. So it's the same thing with Arcane Shift. Arcane Shift, I'm sure everyone that's the most famous one that requires a target. Your opponent has to have a unit at a battlefield in order for you to play an Arcane Shift. And it reads exactly the same way as Arcane Shift does. So if Arcane Shift requires a target, then Pursuit most certainly does. Um,
So,
so I
someone
promise you all, it is dumb, but y'all got to add Dave on Twitter or something like that. Those are just the
at
rules
that
as they're
man,
currently.
let them know what's good. Uh,
Yeah.
so will you do
Uh,
deck
Ike's
profiles?
Vanquish. I think they errated salvage. It
Yeah, it
works
does.
differently now. Salvage is
Yeah,
like the only
it
one
says
that.
you may. They made it so that it works so that you can just draw the card. It is the only card
Yeah,
that does that for
but
some
that's the only card
odd
that they've
reason.
done that. It's not even the May targeting thing because like I
You
think
still
some
have
of
to have
the
a target.
cards
Yeah.
are.
I
You still have to have a target, so yeah, it's
uh,
weird.
so
The
someone
game is weird and is kind of spaghetti. Yeah, go ahead.
someone asked an important question here, and will you do deck profiles or guides on rogue decks like Jack's Rumble or just meta decks? So this is a question. It's not a rant, it shouldn't be, but this is a good question because I want to answer this. Originally, Anton Villionaire was working on a Rumble deck, but after playing so many games of it, he was just like, "Guys, this deck is awful. There's nothing I can write about." Like we are a competitive team through and
Hmm.
through. And it's not that we won't do rogue decks as they are pet deck if it's someone's pet deck or we think there's like a dark horse, but it's very hard to write and sell a compelling guide on decks like, and they don't have to be this bad, but just being hyperbolic, Garen. How do I write a compelling Garen guide? I can't. And the other thing too is there has to be an interest for these things, right? So if we write a Garen guide and it sells 20 copies, well, that takes a lot of our time. These guides are a lot of effort. Like we don't just cook these up in a night or even a week. Like this is done
Mhm.
over a long period of time, over hours and hours of testing. We don't test a deck for a week and go, I like what I got. I'm just going to put this out in a guide. I think I know enough. Like this is 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours or more of testing these decks against everything. And to put that amount of time, because we also have to maintain our competitive status, right? Like we have to practice the good decks so we can win tournaments and do well. Um, it's very hard to put the time and effort required into a deck that is just not good. And that's kind of like this was kind of Anton's frustrations with the Rumble deck. He's playing it, he's testing it, he's said he's going to write a guide, and then he's just like, guys, this deck sucks. Like, there's nothing to say here. Like, I can make this as good as possible, but at the end of the day, this is like a bottom of C tier deck, and we agreed. We're like, yeah, don't put your time into writing a guide for a deck that you don't think can win. Like even Rek'Sai, I think is a C tier deck. There's a little bit of faith. There is like this deck is like I don't think this deck is incredible. Like I've seen a lot of hype in the last couple days, but this is like a top of C tier, maybe bottom of B tier deck. It's fine. It can get a metal card. It can beat unsuspecting Dravens. But there are decks like that I feel like Rumble or Garen or decks like these, like Lux maybe, that are just there's nothing we can do for them. We're still a competitive channel, and it's hard for us. Maybe we'll do a deck profile here and now, but like it's hard for us to put all the time and effort that we need to give you the type of guide that you've come to expect from us into a deck that we think is complete nonsense. Especially if nobody's asking for that. Like it really is hard.
Mhm.
Like so, I don't know if you have any additional thoughts on that, Colin, but that was my 2 cents.
No, I mean, it's not necessarily just that too. It's also like a level of, as Alex said, we put a lot of time into this. Alex spent like hundreds of games playing Rek'Sai into all the different matchups, making those uh, videos. I mean, we spend like literal like working 40 hours a week on these guides for multiple weeks in order to get these things out and make sure that they are good, not necessarily just in writing, but also in testing to make sure that we know what we're saying and that it's not all just nonsense. I want people to understand that like we work hard. The reason that we do charge for them is because that's what helps us actually be able to, afford to live and be able to spend as much time as we do on these things. So we don't just write them. We don't want to just like spew out guides that are complete nonsense for people. So there's a limited amount of guides that we're able to make each set. So unfortunately, we just kind of have to prioritize the better ones towards the specific meta. So we still try to put out like lists for every champion, just in case there are people that are going for like a middle rumble as like a perfect example or something like that. But getting into the weeds with it is kind of difficult, But we are still well versed in pretty much everything, We've tested every deck. That's how we know what the best ones are. Granted, I usually have like a pretty good idea just looking at a set what's going to be good and what's not, but to really understand why and like test all the variations, that takes a bunch of time that we're always grinding. We always have games going on. So
Right.
and then I see a couple people saying congrats from Ellie and Luca. Thank you guys for the congrats. It was a good tournament run, and I got a little lucky in a couple of spots, but yeah, it was for sure good. So
I think before we get into any more questions, I do want to get into the next list. I know we've been We've been doing a lot of them,
Yeah, we'll
so
get back to questions. Yeah, exactly. At least going over the top eight or the interesting lists, I think is important. So this list was an Ezreal list that kind of came out of nowhere to a degree, and I think it. I played it in top eight, and I 2-0'd it. With which like game one is a little bit rough into this deck because I have a lot of bricks that fortunately I just didn't end up drawing. You know, my switcheroos, my rebukes. They don't really do anything into this style of deck, and it can just kind of endlessly loop you with Pack of Wonders and all that stuff, and all the singularities, all the bellows breaths. They're bellows breathing, and then they're fizzing for bellows breath. Pack of Wonders to pick up their fizz, play another bellows breath. So, but the main thing about this deck is like I figured it's very bad defensively. It's very reliant on like rebuke, and the Wages of Pain are really all it can do to kill our units on our turn, and those are limited copies. So I just kind of got to a point where I eventually whittled them down. I got to 7 points, and every time I was conquering, I didn't win the game, but I drew a card. So whatever I sent in replaced itself, and because this deck doesn't apply any pressure to you, every time I do that, I just draw another unit, play it back in base. They got to spend time killing the unit that I sent in with whatever spells they had, and it was like while I was getting funneled on them killing something every single turn, I was funneling them by forcing them to react to everything I was doing every single turn. So, yeah, I was able to beat it up pretty quickly. I do like this deck a little bit, but he had a couple cards that were sus. I think the Trove Pack of Wonders thing is cool, but Malzahar is just not a good card. It's very cute, but it was, I think, not really the play. I don't know when Malzahar's time to shine will be, but it was not in this list. That card does not do anything. So, but if you like the idea of like the Pack of Wonders, Treasure Trove, and Pack of Wonders bouncing your Mind Splitters and your Fizzes and all that stuff, and Soul Gorging it all back, like that stuff is actually pretty good. So I think if I were to try an Ezreal control list, it would start with something similar to this, just -3 Malzahars and maybe plus some units that could actually win the game or something, or like a couple extra Ezreals or retreats or something like that. So yeah, that was this Ezreal control deck. It looks like a pile, but I think the reason that it was able to get to second is because it did have like some good core bones of like looping Mind Splitters, looping Watchers with Bella's Breath and all that sort of stuff. There's just, as Alex puts his hand on his head, being like, how did this guy with 3 Malzahar make it to the finals?
so
Yeah, that's
Colin's
just,
being nice because he had to talk to this guy. He probably knows him by name now. They've probably exchanged information, and they're going to send each other Christmas cards. I don't know this motherfucker through a hole in the wall, so I'll keep it a buck here. There's 8 motherfucking one-ofs in this deck. Like, nope. I don't care that this is a fucking miracle deck and like this is like a one-ofs approved deck. Nope. One fucking Watcher, get the fuck out of here. 3 Malzahar. Colin was very nice in the way he put it. That was an overcook. That's bad. That's bad crack. That's bad crackhead energy. I don't care. Malzahar is that's a no for me, dog. I can't fucking believe that. 1 Ezreal. This is fucking crazy. Now, one thing I'll give this guy this. This is one thing I like that he did. And I think he missed the mark a little bit on it here, but this is one thing I liked. I see what he's going for here. He's going for this like, okay, it's like kind of toolbox deck because I like draw all these cards, but I pack a wonder so I can keep bouncing these guys. He can keep bouncing these one-ups back and like keep recurring them. But like, if you're gonna do that, just play more of the Pack of Wonders. Like, play 2 of it. Like, play 3. Maybe three's a little much, but like, God, why are there so many one-ofs in this deck? And they're not ones that make sense. Like, Retreat is the perfect card in this deck. Like, you're a deck playing all these one-ofs that you want to put with high enter ability value. And we're playing 1 of it. Like, 1 Frigid Touch. Like, what is happening? 1 Arcane. All the cards that bounce guys are one-ofs. And all the guys they bounce are one-ofs. Come on, am I losing it here? Like, sorry, Colin,
yeah.
about your ears there, buddy, but this is, I mean, look, this guy is clearly a decent player because he made it to finals, right? Like, I like, who am I to tell him he's wrong here? But this this is crazy to me. Like, I think this is
Mm,
like, look at all these. What he sides all one ofs in the side too. He sides just like random, like one Annie, one down. Like he's trying to like loop the Danny Annie down well. Like this is like one re. Where does the one retreat come in against? Explain that to me. You already have one in the main. This is not like a like, I don't know. This doesn't. This deck is like all over the place. This literally looks like your friend gave you like a box of commons and you had to assemble it. Like he's like, I only have one Watcher to lend you, man. I only have one Ezreal to lend you, man. I have three Malzahar in here. You want that? And he's just
yeah.
like, fuck it. Shove it all in a deck together. Like, the one thing I will say is go rewatch that finals. I think he had 11 cards in his hand, 11 or 12 cards in his hand on that last turn. And I'm just like, oh, Colin's dead.
Mm,
This guy has 11 cards in his hand. I don't know what they are, but there's no way he doesn't have an answer for his one unit in his 11 card hand. And the game just ends, and I'm like, this guy didn't have anything in that hand? Nothing? And then I saw the list, and I was like, oh, yeah,
yeah.
there's nothing. Yeah, this is cooked. Like, I don't know. Like,
Uh,
there's an
Portal
idea
Recall,
here.
sure. Even Portal Recall is better than some of these cards. I think the Arcane Shift is typically better, but at least Portal Recall is like loopable in theory, since the shift banishes itself, and it doesn't have the targeting requirement. So sure, even that to like give you an extra Watcher trigger or Mind Splitter would be better than Malzahar or Factory Recall or any of these things. But yeah, there is some good stuff here. Don't get me wrong. The reason I
Yeah,
got to finals is because like the Pack of Wonders Trove
there
stuff is
is
pretty cute.
there
But
is an idea. I say this all the time. Some of the best decks I've ever come across, like some of the best ideas that someone on my team or I or whoever have ever had in my card gaming career or whatever, started with something like this, where it's like, well, this is ass, but wait a second, this, maybe there's something here, and then you start moving the pieces around, and all of a sudden you have a really good deck. And I'm not going to go hard on this guy because,
yeah,
again, he got second, and two, he could just come up and choke slam me at an event because I don't know where he lives. He knows what I look like.
he
I
is
don't know what
going to
he looks
Bologna,
like.
I think.
Yeah,
So
he could just choke slam me in
yeah,
Bologna. So if you hear that I got put through a table again, it's probably because I was mean to this guy or mean to him online. So, but
well,
uh,
yeah. He's also a young kid, so you know that's part of it too.
oh, how old is he?
So, anyways, he's like in his teens.
Oh, I ain't afraid. Oh, bring it on. Like, I'm ready for that choke
Yeah.
slam. Let's go.
What, you're gonna choke slam a kid? Like
If he choke slams me first,
that's not
hell
gonna be
yeah,
good for a
brother.
brain.
It's he gonna learn today. We ain't holding back. I don't care if he comes and hits
Yeah.
me with the chair. I get him with the chair back. Like, let's go. Unless he's like
Okay.
14, then I probably would like just let him kick the shit out of me. That's a
Yeah.
bit different.
Exactly.
Like if he's like
And
19, then it's like, all right, these hands are for everyone.
sure.
Uh, but yes,
Yeah.
this is. I think there's
All right.
something here. I think this is not the most refined version of this list. I think this guy was onto something. I just needed a little bit more sculpting than what he's got here. I won't say this is a total trash can of a deck. I just think it was wildly disorganized, is how I would put it.
Yeah, I'll get to a couple questions while we go on to the next
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
Grove the Godwillow and Draven for anti-control. I don't like battlefields as like an anti-one specific thing because you have to bring it in every single matchup. So if it's not good in every matchup, then I don't like it. I'd rather just have like actual sideboard cards for it. Thoughts on Miracle Teemo? You could probably cook it up if you're looking for Teemo best of because I don't think Teemo is very good in general right now, but it's kind of like similar to Miracle Annie or something if you wanted to do that instead of Miracle Draven. It's slightly worse, but it's still the core is still solid. So if you're going for the middle leader, it works. He's 19. Okay, yeah. He just said he was a teenager. That's all I heard, Nicholas. So I wasn't sure, but yeah,
He's 19. Okay.
that's good.
All right. So if
Alex,
he
you
hits me
can.
with the
Yeah, you're good.
chair, I can defend myself. Yes. Okay. Good. Good.
Does
Yeah. I'm.
Pit Crew still fit into this list? You'd have to put the coal in too. I mean, honestly, I could see this being as like a rat deck with like less coals because you have all these gears like treasure troves and stuff to untap it. But yeah, maybe the list would be better without troves and Malzahars and just having those be coals and rats. Who knows? Might be a place to start.
Yeah. I do think the Soul Gorger was kind of interesting. I saw that, and that was like the one of that I was like, all right, maybe. I don't know. I totally buy
Yeah.
into it, but just maybe. Uh, some of these things, I was like,
Yeah.
some of the stuff I was a little like, I guess acceptable losses like combos with your treasure trove, but I'd like, I don't know. I that one seems a little odd to me. I get he's got the Annie Downwell combo. It's just like feels like this deck is so crammed full of like one ofs, and they're not like good tech one. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not. Like the retreats, like
Mhm.
the frigid touches. These are cards I think
Yeah.
should just be more copied, like more. Soul Gorger is a one of makes
Sure.
sense. Watcher not so much.
Yeah.
Ezreal not as much.
I mean, this deck draws this entire deck, so I don't think the one
Sure.
ofs are as bad as Alex makes out to be. But like the last rites is a one of definitely makes sense. Pack of Wonders is a card that you kind of want to see early, so I think that's one I might have gone up to two
Yeah,
on.
I think this is. I think this is a 2
Watcher can get recurred, but it is something you
One
see early,
Watcher
so
is
you
a
probably need to
crime
play
against
two.
humanity. I've said that since
Yeah,
day one. I
yeah.
don't
Hey,
care
it
what
worked out
deck you're.
against me because they never actually got it early, so because they only played one, so
Yeah, I was gonna
that was
say,
nice.
this is a straight crime. Like, brother, if he comes to me and says, Alex, the reason I played one of Watcher is because I don't have Watcher 2 and 3. I'll bring 2 extra Watchers. If
Yeah.
he comes up to me and says he needs 2 more Watchers and he'll put them in his deck if I give them to him, free of charge, you will get these Watchers. I will give you these Watchers just so you please, for the love of God, play 3 fucking Watchers in your deck. If that's what it takes, I will bring them to you.
Hmm.
The Mundo one of is
Yeah, I
strange,
think
but
I'm more a little to the right type of guy, Nova, but it's certainly hanging. So, all right, let's get on to the. I think the next list is Prismats, I want to say.
yep. So let's talk about prismaticism. A guy who, despite talking to both of us for over an hour, cannot seem to remember our names. I would hope he
Okay, I
knows
talked to him
Colin's.
about that, and he was like, "Yeah, he's getting better. He feels real bad about it, especially after I beat him. So, it's trust me, he'll remember my name now. Yours, on the other hand, that's no longer
I talked to
important.
him
So,
the most. We had in-depth conversations. I asked him about his personal life. I talked about my personal life. There was warmth in the conversation. We connected,
mhm.
and then he's like watching our video, like that one's billionaire. I don't know who these two guys are, and I'm like, this motherfucker.
It's about quality over quantity, you know. And,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
clearly, getting his ass beat is what got him to remember my name. So, that being said, this list is really good for anyone who's looking to play Miracle. I think this is kind of a good starting point and where anyone should be at playing this deck. Um, we originally saw with our list, and also in my Draven guide, I did update to my version of this, just a couple cards different. I'm not as heavy on Bushwhack. I think you only need one typically, because the way I play, I don't try to Bushwhack every single turn, whereas some of these people do. So maybe I'd board like an extra Bushwhack into the matchups where you need to do that, like against Kaisa and such. But other than that, they fit the spinning axes, they fit in the nocturnes, fit in a piercing light, and they did so by cutting the 2 drops, which kind of makes sense. This deck is more of a combo deck that's similar to like Aurora almost, where the early units really don't do anything for you. Like scoring an extra point or two just doesn't matter because you win by absolution when you just play 3 Nocturnes, 3 Rosses, 3 Battering Rams. Like, what is that? 45 might or something like that. That's going to be difficult for your opponent to break through, and it costs you all of 3 energy in order to play 45 might out of this deck. So that was good design. Whoever decided to go with that one.
Yeah.
But this deck has some struggles. I think it struggles really into Aurelia, and it struggles into Draven. It absolutely demolishes every other deck in the entire format. So I think that's why this deck is like, it's up there with tier 0 because, it's got a coin toss into Draven, maybe slightly less than a coin toss into Aurelia, and then it just is 100-0 into like every other matchup in the format. It is absolutely obnoxious that this deck exists. So yeah, that's obviously Prismat's take on it and why he's playing it in all these events. I know that he was trying pretty hard to get the back-to-back in this one, but unfortunately I had to take it away from him. So Um,
I
yeah, it's definitely a good list though.
I had to do a double take a couple times here because I like do my eyes deceive me. Is there fucking 8 different cards in this sideboard? And
Yeah,
I look, and at least okay, 4 of these line up. You can see here, like connect the dots, one, one. So he shores up on any of these which he needs. Fine, whatever. This is a like kind of the most reasonable deck for one ofs, but like,
you can tell this is going to be a
hold,
rant for a while. Y'all
no, no,
enjoy
no,
this
no, no, no.
chat.
You know, if Prismat had remembered my name like I remember his, I won't say it because I don't know if he wants his name public, but I remember his name very well. He does not remember my name. However, had he remembered my name, I would have been like, nah, this is fine. This is whatever. Prismat's the GOAT. But since he forgot my name, now he's going to go through it. What the fuck is invert timelines here for? You're the deck that draws all the cards. Is it for the mirror? Like you pop off first and then invert them? Like what deck? This is where I'm confused. Is what deck is
Yeah,
this for? Is this for Ezreal decks, like where they like have a billion cards stacked up? You pop off and then drop this after your pop off turn. Like I'm
it's
not
for
saying it's
Control
like
Kaisa too. Control Kaisa gets cooked by invert timelines when they're like
sure.
playing a progress day and they're like, all right, cool,
I,
invert timelines.
I
Like,
don't think this
it's
deck
got some
can
utility.
ever beat. I don't think Control Tysa can ever beat this deck. Like maybe I'm wrong here. I haven't played enough miracles into that matchup, but like, and maybe this invert timelines is cooking. I don't know. I haven't played enough with this card miracle to truly know, but that seems crazy to me. But you know what seems the most crazy to me is not playing last rites in the main. I will say this right now, and this is against my best interest. This is against the best interests of pretty much everyone on my team. Play a one of last rites in the main of your miracle deck. You're crazy for not doing this. When I'm playing Rek'Sai, this is the only card in your deck that matters to me. Like this is the only card I do
Mhm.
not want to see unless you're randomly siding Ferris Forerunner, which I doubt you are. It's just this fucking last rites.
Yeah.
MF Aurora,
Auto wins into Ezreal,
yes,
auto wins into
just this
Kaisa. Like,
fucking goddamn I hate this card so much. I cannot stand that they printed this card. Like, why did they also make its cost not actually a cost? They made its cost good. It recycles 2 cards. Why should it do that? Like, oh my fucking god, I
yeah.
hate this card. You should be maining this card, no exceptions in your miracle decks. Just a one of, that's all it takes because you go through your whole deck. It is a very acceptable one of. This card is broken. Absolutely fucking broken. No exceptions, one of in your main. Uh, these are fine one ofs. I guess this is like these are like thermo beam. You find your whole
Yeah.
deck. Bring here. You don't need to the end of the game.
I mean,
Whatever.
as much as Alex has a schizo rant about it, this is the deck where you can play 8 1-ofs if that's really what you want. Because
Sure.
it's, well, first of all, some of them are double ups, hard bargain, piercing light, rebukes, switcheroos. These are all 1-of copies in the main, so those are all double ups. And then everything else are just like silver bullets that you want to see at some point in the game, and you draw your entire deck with this deck. So literally every single card in your deck is in your hand at some
Yes.
point. So
Yes. This is
assuming that you draw
yeah.
well.
This is like this card. This last rights card. Even though it's mostly a one, maybe two of at most. This is a card for any of you buyouter people in there. This is the card I would be going after. Uh, this is like last
Eh,
rights. Last rights is a crazy. This card is fucking crazy. I stand by that. I
I
think
mean,
this card is insane.
it is a broken card, but it is like a 1-of in most of these
Well,
decks.
that's the
Outside of
problem. Is a
MF, I
one.
think MF's the
It
only
is
one
a
that plays extra copies.
yes. It is a one of which is
So,
its core, its functional problem. But there will at some point. There already is MF, but there will at some point be a deck that just has to see this, and it's not trying to do the whole draw through its deck engine. It's just trying to find this card when you have fucking 6 units in the game. Actually, sorry, 9 units in the game that cost can be played for 0 mana. I guess the Nocturne can't be played from your grave for that, but like this shit's just like
hmm.
this shit's so heinous. Like I despise like this is the creates this fills the only hole uh uh get it because it's a shovel. This fills the only hole this deck has. The only flaw that I think this deck has is that once it runs out of units, they're gone. It has to wait to either let you score the point and shuffle them back in, or that's it. Like it can like vie them back in, but at least it has to go through its whole deck and draw them one at a time and try to like combo them out again. Like, but this fixes
Yeah.
that one fundamental hole the deck has, and I absolutely despise it for that. Um, so yeah,
Yeah. Alex manipulating the market. He owns 453 copies of Last Rites. I can assure you he owns
I
zero,
own
I think,
one.
because I saw
I
his
pulled
case
one,
open.
right? I remember you said,
You pulled.
oh,
I don't think you pulled one, or maybe it
no,
was Daniel that
remember,
didn't pull one. Maybe
no,
you pulled one.
no, I pulled one because remember some guy
Yeah.
said I've never
Yeah.
seen anybody pull last rights, and then you said it when I pulled it. Yeah, I have one last rights.
Yeah.
I also own zero
Yeah.
Phoenix. I'm tired of reading on Twitter that we made the card get bought out. We didn't do that on purpose. I own no Phoenix. I am borrowing Phoenixes. I swear on my fucking life,
Yeah.
I own.
We
Wait,
don't.
I'm
We don't
gonna
do
double check
buyouts or any of
before I
that sort of
die,
stuff.
but I'm almost positive I own
Uh-huh.
zero Phoenix. Maybe I have like one left over, but I'm 99.9% sure I sold them all long before the spike. Long, at like $12
Hmm.
each or something. So I
Yeah.
nobody was more disappointed than me to wake up, be like, oh shit, Phoenix is $50, we're cooking, and then open up my stack of epics and be like, holy fuck, I'm at $120. That's nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I think a lot of people were just saying that just based on us, promoting the deck and stuff. And I do understand that whatever we promote is typically going to get bought out. But yeah, that's just how things go. This is my boy Jason, his list. He unfortunately ended up losing in the finals. He's got some spice in here. Okay. I kind of
like
see it.
like
Oh, look at all the one-ofs. Ooh,
these ones
okay.
don't even make fucking sense. He doesn't even have any of these cards. One assembly rig. This doesn't draw. This is not miracles. He doesn't draw his whole deck like one assembly rig. What is this Draven for? What is this your chosen champ against? What are you making this your chosen champ against? What is it for? Explain it to me.
Hmm.
Let's hear it, Colin. He's
Uh,
your man's.
no. Nah, he is my man's, but I don't know. I didn't see his list before going into this event, so
One piercing
this
like
list is crazy.
come get your
He's got
man's
like what is that
because
like 10 two drops in this list? That's crazy.
10 two drops, two, two, three.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Dude, he got coolered one too many times in a tournament where he just opened his hand, said no turn one
Yeah,
play, opened his hand, no turn. This is like a massive overcorrection. Like this is crazy.
yeah. I guess the traveling merchant helps filter him out later, especially with the zone wards
Oh
and stuff too.
my
3 Edge of
god.
Night is crazy
Not a
too. That's
single
insane.
Ferris Forerunner in the 48. I would foam at the mouth to play this every single round with Rek'Sai. My God. Max two drops, no Ferris Forerunner, maining Brynhir Thunder Song, one Falling Star. This is like the Draven deck of my dreams if I'm playing Rek'Sai. Like, oh my God.
Mhm.
Like, holy shit. This is like, oh, God, one called shot. Like, Jesus. Yeah, this was.
Yeah. I think yeah, definitely a little bit of an overcook that he's got here, but it's I see where he's going with it. I think a lot of the power of Draven is the fact that there are so many silver bullets that the deck that just like these decks can't beat, certain decks can't beat Rebuke. We get to play that card. Certain decks can't beat Ferris Forerunner. We get to max copies of that. Certain decks can't beat Mind Splitter. We get to play all these cards that just people just absolutely fold to, and not maxing on copies and all those is yeah, that's rough. So, um, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting take. I think all of the low cost stuff is. I mean, he's at least not missing a 2 drop. I guess I can say that for sure. No Noxious Hopeful is heinous too, but um, do you stream your games somewhere for the 1K? Yeah, they're recorded for all of our gold members in our Discord. Everything but top four. I
Gold
unfortunately didn't
members in
record the
our
top four.
Discord. What is that? What? Well, that's a great
No,
question,
you
Chad.
love to do our Metafy plug, Alex. So
I was
I need to use
getting
the restroom
there.
anyways. So go nuts.
So what's that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Uh, if you are looking for the premier Discord for competitive Riftbound, well, look no further. You found it. Welcome to the Challenger TCG Metafy experience. So if you go to our Metafy at Challenger TCG, you will stumble upon a Metafy chock full of competitive content. We've got a Discord, we've got coaching, we've got guides. And let me break that down a little bit for you what that means. Coaching, we've got sessions hour, 2 hours. Not sure if it's going to work for you. Well, we do a free 15-minute consultation. It doesn't cost you anything more than 15 minutes of your time. That's like twice as long as like your average crank session for most of you clowns out there. So you only have to spare an extra 7 or 8 minutes or 13 if you're me. Then we've got our Discord. And for just $10 a month, you get access to our Discord and all of the things that come with it, which is interacting with our other fellow members, interacting with members of the team. You can talk to us directly. You can almost reach out and touch us. We're right there. We'll talk to you. We'll respond to you. Some of us won't shut the fuck up if you talk long enough. What do you get next, though? That's the tip of the iceberg. But when we keep going down, next we get the $20 tier, gold membership. You get access to all of our deck lists, and I mean all of them. Anything that we're working on that we don't immediately throw in the garbage can goes in our gold deck list tab. We're updating those decks. We're trying those decks. Now, not everything. I will tell you this. We don't go way in the hole on every deck. So if you get in there and you're like, where's the Garen deck I was promised? Well, there'll be a list in there for you. But if you're looking for the top tier Garen deck, we might not have that. But I can promise you that any deck that is competitive, we have tried it. Even a little competitive. Even C tier decks like Ezreal, we have tried them all. So you get access to all of our gold lists. You get access to all of our VODs, like Colin's tournament experience, like he was talking about. He recorded all of that, with the exception of top 4, which you can find on the Rift and Runes YouTube if you care to see it. But he recorded all of that for you guys. At $50 a month, you get access to our Diamond subscription. And what comes with that? Well, you, on top of all the before mentioned functions and features, you then get access to our VOD our VOD review Diamond feature, which is once a week we take VODs submitted by you, the community, and we review them in our Discord. And we do that every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. EST. And that's included. That's like pretty much a free service that you get. We charge for VOD reviews too. That's part of our coaching. Normally, I think it's like $40 or $50 an hour for a VOD review, but we do them free as part of this service where you're already getting all these other things. And if that wasn't enough, you get guide discounts. Like I said, we got guides on that Metafy too. We have 5 guides with a 6th and 7th coming soon. We've got 5 guides. At the $10 tier, you get 33% off. At gold, you get 50%. And diamond, as long as you're a diamond member, you get all of those free. As long as you are a diamond member, you can read those at any time, free of charge. Right now, we have 5 guides. 4 of them are $30. One of them's $100. One of them's $20 for a total of $140. But for $50 a month, you get $140 worth of guides plus our entire Discord and all it has to offer for just $50, guys. You're crazy not to try this. Like, and to top it off here, guys, the last thing I ask is for those of you watching us on Twitch, because YouTube, I don't know, for some reason doesn't have Prime subs, support us with your Prime. I know what you're thinking, Alex, I don't want to pay $5 a month, but you probably have Amazon. And guess what? Amazon gives you a free Prime sub. Now, I know what you're thinking, Alex, I'm giving this to Colin, who's a famous Twitch streamer. Name a famous girl Twitch streamer that'll never talk to these people ever. Well, here's the difference. Go.
Sure.
Name one. Here, name one. Go.
I
don't know Twitch streamers.
I don't know. Pokimane? She's one of the famous ones, right?
Pokimane. I don't know Twitch streamers because I don't watch Twitch, but Pokimane will not even spit in your direction. She's not a real person as far as you're considered. Me, I'm real as shit, and I'll spit right on your face. You can come up to me, I won't just spit in your direction, I'll spit right on you. That's how real I am. I'm a real fucking human being. And you can come and you can talk to me at events and I will talk back to you. I probably talk too much. I'll talk so much you'll be like, why did I give this guy my $5? I just want him to stop talking to me. And for $5 more, I will stop talking to you. Help us out, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks again. That's we need some Twitch subs now. Back to your
But yeah.
regularly scheduled program.
Speaking
Uh,
of which, appreciate Hubophobia with the Prime
Phobophobia,
sub. Thank you
thank
very
you with the
much.
Prime sub.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
And because you guys let Alex do this rant, he can eat another day, I suppose. So thank you
yes,
all for
yes.
that.
Thank you. My dogs get
Um,
fed. It's very important to me. Thank you guys.
yeah, exactly. So going into our next list here, we got Sivir Aurora. Uh, it's a list of all time. I've got a lot of
I'll let
insight
you do
into
this.
this list, yeah, because
My
I've
blood
talked
pressure
to
is already
Vero
pretty
about
high,
it.
so I'm gonna get a drink of water here while you run them through this one real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Please get it pull up on stream. And it's a cool list. I know Vero has his own Metafy that he does for all this, and this apparently was one of his proteges that was playing in the event, and I think they ended up they were first seed, I was second seed going into the entire event. Um, so yeah, they ended up doing pretty well through Swiss. I think they went X1, I want to say, or maybe it was X01, something of that nature. Um, and yeah, it's just an Aurora list. It's got some spicy stuff, as you see, like the Yone, but it's not MF. We aren't playing any Sig spells. We're just doing this out of Sivir. The reason I was told for it is that it plays a little bit more like a mid-range list. That's why we even have this random one of Yone in here as like a way to, when you aren't doing Aurora shenanigans, um, it gives you something to do in the mid game, and the deck's often trying to play um, like a treasure trove to get a gold, and then use that gold to play a Sivir, and then afterwards it can actually contest and you can do some cute stuff like you send the Sivir in, you play a called shot in your opponent's turn, it gets the +2 might from 0 energy that maybe your opponent wasn't expecting. Um, all that sort of stuff in the mid range, and then eventually it just plays an Aurora and wins the game by that. So yeah, it's kind of a cute alternative. We still think that the all-in MF list is a little bit better, but it's just that list is more all-in on Aurora. That list can't win without Aurora. In theory, this list could. I still don't think this list can really win without Aurora, but it can at least stall a bit more until the Aurora comes down. So yeah. Yeah, I see a super chat from I love J Bun. Alex's ration for the month. Well, he'll be eating good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Let's
Um,
see.
but yeah, we still are of the belief that MF is a little bit of a better Aurora deck. This is kind of like similar to Yi mid range almost, or the Yi Aurora deck, where it has a little bit more play in the mid game, from my understanding. I haven't played with this list at all. I'm Aurora's biggest hater. The old meme. There's 1,000 Aurora haters. I'm one of them. If there's one Aurora hater, it's me. And if there are no Aurora haters, then I'm dead. So you'll
Uh,
never catch me playing a
uh,
list like this.
Ivan Collin said all I had to say about this list. My long and short, I'll spare you guys the rant. My long and short is that I just think MF does this better. Uh, I do think the Yone was kind of interesting. I have a soft spot for Yone. I think this is one of the most underrated cards in the game um, right now. So I do have a little
Mhm.
bit of a soft spot for Yone. I don't know how great it is here, but I fuck with Yone. I big fan. Just not sure if this is where it's supposed to be, but I like it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say
Yeah.
about this
Yeah, I
list.
mean, Vero told me it was pretty good. It did well for him. It's just like a thing that they have to respect. And, he give Yon some shoes, and that guy's cooking. So,
This was Vero's deck. Was this who played this?
yeah.
Oh, this.
Well, it's Vero's protege is the one who actually ended up winning with it. Somebody who got coaching and I think bought Vero's guide.
So,
So
someone. So
he said he talks to them a lot. So
Alex, if you didn't run Faithful and Rek'Sai, what would you try in its place? Well, that's a great question because I actually did cut Faithful from Rek'Sai, and I have updated the Rek'Sai guide. I have one more card I need to write about, and then I will have the updated list posted by end of tonight. I hopefully will have the Ezreal matchup part of the guide written well. People are asking for more matchups. So I'm adding Ezreal in there. I'll have an
Mhm.
introduction. I'll have the new list posted and ready to go. If you are in gold, though, the updated deck list is already in my gold tier deck list. So you can definitely check it out there if you want to see. But I did, in fact, cut Faithful Manufacturer. That is a card you could still play, though. I think in the guide it specifically says, like, this is like the last card to be cut from there, and you could still keep it if you wanted to. And maybe I'll go back to it, but right now, he's gone. He's out. So,
Mhm.
what else we got? Bro is
Yeah,
a
it's
tier
two
one
syllables.
hater.
Yone. Okay, Yone. Got
Bro is a tier one
it.
hater. D1 sale rep.
What's our next deck list we got here, Alex?
uh, Hold on a second. Oh, the
I
next
can't
deck
afford three
list.
Kaisa, which I replaced with for Draven list. It's kind of a tough one, but that's one that I've gotten a lot. My recommendation is to go on eBay and buy some Chinese Kaisas for like a third of the price. I was looking a day or two ago, and there are still some up for like 30 to 35 bucks. So if the $85 price range is the difficult one, then because that's what I recommend. Because she's kind of hard to replace. I'd probably say go heavier, play like maybe more Ferris Forerunners or Mind Splitters, and the accelerate portion. It's like kind of an anti-control card, so yeah, that's kind of my recommendation. It's also pretty important in the mirror though, so yeah. Heard you're facing off against Diwali. Yes, we'll be streaming that in our Discord tomorrow. So I think I'll be playing for a few hours. He just mentioned that he wanted to play some games before we get to Bologna, and I think it'll be beneficial to both of us. So I know he'll be recording it for his Metafy. We'll be obviously just streaming it live in our Metafy. So that's at 5 p.m. EST, I think, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll roll that into the Diamond stream whenever we're done there. I think typically around 8 or 9 EST. But always good to collab. We're pro collabs here. We love the community and just want to work with everybody for the most part. So
Wait,
so this is
I muted my mic. Could you guys
no,
hear
no,
me in the bathroom? Wait, they're saying that on Twitch.
I
Wait, I
don't.
muted. That's crazy if they could hear that. That's insane. Wait. Oh my God, I muted. How?
Yep.
Oh, I know how, because they can still hear the Discord. Even though I muted, you could still hear it because we have the audio playing a different way this time. Oh, that's
Mm.
crazy. I did mute because this. Can you guys hear me right now? Can you guys hear? Can they hear me
Well,
right
this
now?
is what happens when you give your 70-year-old grandpa
Oh,
the
that's
control of the
crazy.
ox.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that. That's insane. It's more insane
Yeah.
that you guys can hear me because there's a whole wall between me and the toilet. So I muted too. That's crazy that this didn't work. That you guys can still hear me. It has to
Yeah.
just be because we changed the way the audio is captured. But anyways, I digress. Uh, moving on, Fiora deck.
Hmm.
Not a hook Fiora deck. Wow.
Yeah, this is just like a classic mid-range Fiora. I am also not a big fan of this deck list. I just don't really know what it does. I feel like it's a worse set, just because like it's still got a terrible Draven matchup. It's maybe even got a worse Draven matchup because it's only on one Sabo. I guess technically you have riposts, but there are plenty of times where Draven's going to kill your stuff in combat, and the ability to just like recur it can be really annoying for them. So yeah, I don't like this deck. I think it's bad, but people seem to do well with it, and I don't really know how. I think if you're playing Fiora, you got to play the hook version. I think it's just a little bit more explosive. Obviously, less consistent, but the thing about consistency is you can only be the consistent deck if you're doing the most powerful thing. Because if you're just consistently bad and consistently not powerful, then you never get the high rolls where you're going to be able to beat, the better players or the people that know what's going on. And I think that's what happens with these Fiora decks, personally. So um,
I support
that's
the
that's
hook
my take on it.
Fiora.
I think Fiora needs hook.
Yep,
Yeah,
I agree. You need to shoot for the stars, and at the very least, you'll land amongst the
yeah.
moon. Or shoot for the moon, and you'll always fall amongst the stars. That's how it works.
Is
That's the
that
saying.
the saying?
Yeah, it's
That's
shoot for the moon, and at the very least,
well,
you'll
the
fall
stars
amongst
are
the.
further than the moon, right? So it should be shoot for the stars, and then you'll at
All
the very
right,
least
at
land on
least
the
land
moon.
them. Whatever, dude. I don't know. I don't make these things up. This is someone else's bag, not mine.
Good.
Rek'Sai seems good,
6 and
but
7
not
be out
this.
before Bologna. No, I think we're working on. I think Fiora and Aurelia are the next two that we're working on. Those will. I'm going to be working on the Aurelia guide while I'm at Bologna in Vegas. So those will just that'll just be up whenever I'm able to finish in between all the travel and stuff. But in theory, I'll be stuck in the airport for a while. Maybe I'll find a way to pull out my laptop or start typing it up on my phone while on the flight to Bologna because it's like a 16-hour trip or some shit.
We did already cover Cullinan deck, but it's still here if you want to see it on riftx.com. And if you also want to see it
Yeah.
live, updated in real time, Challenger TCG Metafy. I never
Yep,
realized
and
where.
we this is going to get posted on our channel too, so anyone can go back if you ended up missing some sections of it. It'll be in our Twitch VODs. It'll be on our YouTube channel, so everything should be good there to go back and go over. But good list. Do recommend for anyone who wants to win.
Someone asked,
Um,
Rek'Sai seems good, but not this mid-range strange deck people play. Maybe aggro spam creature deck. What's the mid-range? Is that the like tempo version? You'll have to be more specific. I'm a bit confused.
yeah.
So is it?
But yeah, this looks pretty similar to my set list. I don't know. It's just got some bad cards like Doran's Blades and BF Swords that you spend a bunch of energy to put it onto one guy and then it gets rebuked. So, what's the sixth place list? Yeah, we're through Fiora. It's
That
fine.
is
We can
sick.
go into
That Fiora
Draven.
is a sixth place list. It's just there's not
Okay,
much to
so
say
seventh
here.
is
It's a
okay. This was who I played in top 8. Um, yeah, they were a nice person. They were friends with the person who got second. So yeah, they were
yeah. This
asking
is
how to
pretty.
improve in the mirror match, and I don't know. My
Pretty
advice for
standard.
anyone is not play against the goat, and you'll have a much better chance at winning. So
But don't you get better? It's like I would get better at basketball if I just played against LeBron James every day, right? Like I wouldn't get
yeah,
worse.
I suppose so.
And yes,
I
before
mean,
anybody in
yeah, I
chat argues
suppose
with
that's part of
me,
it.
LeBron is the go to basketball. I will not hear any arguments.
Oh,
Let's
great! I
see.
can't wait for that to be the next 15 minutes of our chat of somebody arguing with you.
I don't
Yeah, it's
even
a fun
watch
list.
basketball, so
It's
and I can still win this argument without even knowing almost anything about basketball. I can win that argument. But
fair enough.
anyways, on to top
Um,
8 or the
and
eighth
then
place list.
yeah, this guy. This was actually my round 2 opponent. Who actually played pretty well. I was his only loss, which was tough for him being in round 2, having to fight back all the way. I like this list. He got a game off me where he was just able to. He had like double student early and was just able to protect them forever using like stupefies. He had like a couple of stupefies when I tried to falling star it, which was kind of annoying. Um, and yeah, I just couldn't kill the students in the one game that I lost. But these control Ezreal lists they're not bad. They're just like the games where he lost, he just wasn't able to ride his little guys. I think these decks really struggle into like the Kaisa strategies of the world. And if you just have enough falling stars to clear all the units, then it doesn't matter how many of your guys they kill. You're just gonna keep playing more, and eventually they're gonna run out of arcane shifts and wages of pains, and they can only afford to run like one singularity, sometimes two. So they're gonna run out of Bella's Wrath, singularities, wages, etc., and eventually they'll just lose if they aren't able to keep their creatures riding. So
Whoa, Beast Below! Not the Beast Below! Oh my god! I gotta pull
yeah,
that one up. When you play, oh my god.
you don't know Beast Below?
I vaguely, but I pull it up for the
We got
chat.
a
Like he's
reader
like
chat.
he bounces like he has to bounce a guy. I think he's mandatory. Yeah. So that's a
Yes,
funny one.
you have to bounce on both sides.
Yeah. Um.
Um,
Someone said
yeah.
this is a question I do want to highlight here. You guys are not worried about other pro players knowing your list in Swiss of regionals or Nats eventually. Before I answer that, I want to follow up with something else someone said in the chat, which is Savage Hour said they're not necessarily playing the same list. Two parts to this. The first part is yes, we are playing the same lists. If you see our deck in gold, we will tell you before this Bologna event. Even if we make a last night like a change the night before, we will post that. That will go in our gold list. You will never we will never at 9:59, a minute before deck submission is due, just post the list change without you knowing. You will have access to that in enough of a timely manner. Maybe we change something an hour before the tournament starts, but we will put that in the Discord so you know exactly what we're playing. We're not throwing any curveballs at you. We're not trying to one up you. We're not withholding secret tech. You're getting everything as we update it. And if you've played competitive card games, you know people make last minute changes, last night changes, changes 10 minutes before the tournament starts. But we will update you the moment we know what's changing. And I can tell you, at least in this game so far, I've made last night changes, but I haven't made any changes, I think, the morning of. That hasn't happened yet. So
Mm.
these lists are going to be exactly the same. To get to the first part of this question, why are we doing this? Are we not worried that other people will know our list? Well, no, not really. When you're good at something, it doesn't matter if people know your secrets. You're just good at it, especially in card games. Like, we're not doing anything crazy here either, right? Like, Colin's Draven deck, even if I think it's the best Draven list, like, it's not that many cards off of the standard Draven deck right now. Like, he's not doing anything crazy, but even if
Mm.
he was, we wouldn't care. Like, that's the thing. I say this all the time. If we have a secret tech, you have a secret tech. If I figure out or we figure out how to kill like an infinite combo that kills your opponent on turn two every single time, well, now every single person in our Discord has that, or every single gold member has the deck list, and at least every single person in our Discord knows about the deck, even if they don't have the exact list card for a card. But every gold and above, they will have that list. They will get to go to locals and kill me on turn two. So no, I don't worry about our competitive edge because one,
Yeah.
we're
You
great.
just
We'll keep
get
winning.
you get used to it.
Yep. And two,
Yeah.
part of our priority is you, our community. It's not trying to make sure that we win events
Mm.
by one-upping the people who are paying us money. You're paying us. We're going to give you exactly what you're paying for. And I'm not worried about any good player. I'm not worried about any unknowns. This is what you're getting from us. We're not concerned. Like, we might lose a little bit of an edge. It's true. If we find a
Yeah.
secret deck, yeah, we might lose some bit of an edge, but that's kind of part of the quality of the service we offer is that we're willing to give up our edge to make you guys better.
Mm. Yeah.
Someone said, Alex,
Promise.
chill, I'm already
Draven deck,
playing.
can you talk about generic go in versus pulling out? I think I'm playing 2 aggro early, then losing board presence over time. Yeah, I would say whenever you're playing Draven, think of it as you're almost like a mid-range control-esque. Like, this game doesn't, I guess, outside of the removal decks, doesn't have anything that's too controlling. But your units are important. I always say, and this isn't just for the Draven list, but as just kind of a core fundamental in Riftbound in general, you never want to be in a position where every unit that you have is on a battlefield, because that's just a recipe for disaster. If all your units are on a battlefield and your opponent just has the perfect cards in order to clear you, then you're not winning that game. You have to take an entire turn off in order to rebuild. Your opponent gets to take an entire turn of scoring both battlefields twice, essentially, right? Because they're going to conquer it on that turn that they cleared your battlefields. And then they get to hold it as well, and then they need to retreat out. So just in general, you never want to be in the position where you don't have a unit in base, because breaking into battlefields is so much easier than holding them with just the fundamental way this game is designed, because your opponent has to tap all of their energy in order to break into the battlefield, and then you get your entire turn with all of your energy, all of your interaction spells, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, unless you're very desperate and you don't have a choice, just in general in Riftbound, you want to make sure that you have some units to break back into battlefields. Do you avoid scoring both fields if you're on odd points? I don't. It's not like a complete avoidance for odd points. Like, the odd even thing is important, and being able to, like, if it's for free, then you definitely go for it. But if it's going to cost you a ton of resources in order to score both battlefields, then yeah, staying on even. The way that it essentially works with the even versus odd point thing, and again, this is something I'm comfortable talking about because it's something that affects everyone, is we always harp on, like, you want to go 2, 4, 6, 8 because that's the most efficient path to victory. But the game, obviously, you're playing against a real opponent who's going to try and stop you from doing that, right? So there are points where you're going to go to odd points because you can't score to even, and that's okay because that just means in a future turn, now you can take a turn just developing your board and scoring only one battlefield as opposed to previously where you'd have to spend a bunch of resources in order to conquer both battlefields, and then maybe next turn you're not going to be able to conquer both because you didn't spend that turn off just building a base. So don't ever feel like you got to push too aggressively in pretty much any deck, and I think you'll be doing a lot better as a player. Just sometimes you have to realize that you just got to take a turn off, let your opponent score, and win from there.
So
So
someone asked about Beast Below. Beast Below says another unit you control and bounce on a unit your opponent controls. To answer your question, I don't believe with the way it is worded, real quick, I do not believe with the way this is worded, when you play me, return another friendly unit and an enemy unit to their owner's hand. If you play this on with your side being empty, they just bounce one of their units.
yeah.
And you bounce one of their units and choose. So it does not bounce itself. It does say another. I don't know how this is
Yeah.
work. It says return another friendly unit and an enemy unit. So I don't know if there's some weird ruling where I have to bounce one of mine to bounce theirs. These cards are always very unclear to me. It does not bounce an enemy unit if you bounce an enemy. See, it doesn't say return another enemy friendly unit to. It just says and. Oh, you do need both. Okay. So I apologize.
You need both targets in order to activate the ability.
Nothing about this wording would imply
way,
that to me. But yes, I guess you need two
If
targets.
it said up to on both sides, then it would do that. But because it requires targeting for both, the ability just doesn't go on the stack if it's not.
It just doesn't go on the stack. Someone said you require a unit to play it. That would be crazy. Like I can't even play this.
That one's maybe. I don't know that.
Wait, you
about
can't.
That one. I know units work a little bit differently.
I think units are different because they don't see their effects until they've hit the board. It's not like that wouldn't work because it wouldn't even the game wouldn't even know there's.
It just becomes like a vanilla 7-life, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but both are mandatory in order for you to get the effect at all.
Yes.
From everything I know about the game, you can still play the card.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I think tuning in for the first time. Welcome. After watching lots of your set videos, do you think it'll be viable this set? He's kind of like an anti-meta deck where he's very good into everything except for Draven and like Miracle Draven. So if you're willing to accept that, then yeah, the deck's viable. Just know that your Draven matchup's going to be tough for sure. And I tried to build a list that like maximizes your EV into it with sabos and stuff for the rebukes, but it's definitely tough. Make me sad that I think Fiora won't be anything special during the skirmishes. Just play the hook version. Like the hook version's not bad. It's a little inconsistent, but if you like Fiora, like I think that list's fine. But yeah, this is like as we'll get into our next topic here for what we expect for Bologna. This is kind of what we're expecting out of the control Ezreals that a lot of people have been vague posting about as the quote unquote answer to Draven and the thing that solves Draven and fixes the format. I think that is this. I know Alon ZQ was the one who was hyping up an unknown deck that stomped Draven, and it was just some variation of this Ezreal list. So, yeah, it's a okay deck, I guess. I struggle to see how decks like this beat things such as like Aurelia or Kaisa, and essentially something that people need to understand and about games in general is you can't play a counter deck to just the best deck unless it is literally the entirety of the field. If you're building a counter deck just to beat Draven and you're like 50-50 or 60-40 into Draven, let's say even you're 60-40, great, you're advantaged into Draven, you did something that no deck in the format except for one can do, and then you just lose into everything but that matchup, you're never making top cut with that deck because you're going to run into random stuff in round one where people are just playing there for fun deck. If Draven's 30% of the field, you're 30% to see it round one, which means 70% of the time you're just going to lose to one of those Kaisas, one of those Aurelias, so on and so forth. Right, so apparently it's got a little bit more legs than that because two of them did make top 8. So I'm not saying it's quite that extreme, But I do feel like that is the biggest issue with people just saying like, oh, people will find the Draven counter, but it has to be a Draven counter that also does well into all these other random decks that other people are playing. So, do you have an updated set list on Metafire? You're posting one to YouTube soon? Yeah, it's. I think I published the update to my set guide, so that one should be updated. I need to double check and make sure it's on the right. We had some issues with Piltover Archive, so I'll double check our gold deck list to make sure that that's updated as well. But if you have the set guide, then that is updated. There's a section for set 2.
So someone said,
but yeah,
what's the combo with Matt? I don't know what that.
What's the combo with Malz? I think it's Malzahar.
Malzahar.
That's the thing.
God,
there isn't one. I think that card's just bad. So I never saw my opponent play that card against me. I think he might have played it in game 1, and it literally sat their entire game and did nothing. So I do not. I feel like it was like a side bet that somebody made with them, where he's like, I bet you can't get to the finals playing
lost a fantasy
playing 3 Malzahar. Yeah. Yeah. What are we sipping? This is my Heb branded zero sugar twists. This is my current addiction. They're just Sprite Zeros essentially, but Texas branded. So, but yeah, as apparently that's what everyone's hyping up is this Ezreal deck going into Bologna. So I'm expecting to see a lot of it. And while it is somewhat annoying, I guess, just because it attacks on a different avenue. Yeah, I do not believe personally that it's something that great. So, what is this? What's this list you got on screen?
Wait, what's the? Oh, so I know we said we're going to talk about Bologna and what to expect and have a discussion, which we've kind of done here by answering all these questions. But I also wanted to give a shout out to our boy and teammate Cody Williams for his Victor deck. I believe he split top 4, but because he was the highest seed in top 4, it's first place here. I think that, or maybe they played out. I actually don't know, but I'm fairly certain he split. I could be wrong, but yeah. So this is his Victor deck, kind of running it back. We did post this on our Twitter. It is also in our Discord, but this is kind of similar to the Victor from last set. So, I mean, he's got some new cards in here just to show you guys that Victor is not dead, for those of you you Victor fans. And it is a more mid-range list, too. He's playing closer to the list that he did last set than some of the newer lists we're seeing that are playing a more removal-heavy package. Love to see 3 Watcher at 3 Bellows Breath, one of my favorite combos in the current meta. A big fan of that. But yeah, I was practicing.
Imperial Decree as well being the true combo.
Right. I was playtesting into him too the other night. This deck's not good against Rek'Sai, I'll say that. I don't think it's very great in Rek'Sai, but it's good in a lot of other places. This is like probably one of the last things I want to see is this deck is Rek'Sai. So, but yeah, this is an awesome deck. Hats off to him. And you might notice that there's only a singular one of in this entire deck outside of the Chosen Champion, and that is just the Card Sharp, and that is because I believe Cody only owned one Card Sharp. Funny enough, I believe he only played one of this because he only had one. So we here at Challenger TCG, we don't fuck with the one-ofs like that. Unless there's a reason to.
Do you want to talk about Cody's battlefields of choice, Alex?
What the fuck, Cody?
Alex?
Can you hear me? Did I die?
I can hear you. You died for a second when you were reading his battlefields.
Bro, I said this today. I'm convinced I'm trapped in like some Truman Show-esque world where everybody is trying to psyop me into playing Rockfall Path, and I just won't do it. Like, I told you, everybody's in on it, Colin. I said this not even an hour ago. Everybody's fucking in on it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I feel
Everyone's in on that.
like I'm talking to someone and they're just like, but Alex, have you tried Rockfall Path? Now with half the calories of the leading competitor or some shit. Like, I feel like I'm in some sort of like some imaginary world where the whole objective right now is to push me towards Rockfall Path. I
Mhm.
This is fucking crazy. Yeah, I have to talk to Cody about this because I didn't see this in any of our testing games. This is either new or maybe that's a mistake. Maybe it fell into his deck box. I don't know. That's crazy, Cody.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm like God, Rockfall Path. Yeah, I like I actually am going to just have to play this just to know why people are playing this. What is happening? Uh,
Mhm.
why people are playing Rockfall Path. So I it might even
Yeah,
be
I don't
my
know
third.
why it has the X3 and X2 copies. It's a weird one, but
Yeah. So um, we've got
we need
another.
Rockfall Path's just so good. We had to play 3 copies of it. That's all that I know.
I think it was just supposed to
Oh.
be Battlefield 1, 2, and 3 is my guess. That's uh that I saw that and
Mhm.
I didn't. Yeah. See. Look, it's supposed. Maybe they marked them 1, 2, and 3 just to
It's
indicate like
probably
what
just the
people.
way that the deck lists were.
Yeah. Maybe
It's
I
probably
don't.
just what was written on the deck red sheet.
Yeah. I
It was just
guess.
whatever order they put it on there. Yeah.
Have we talked about wide Alex yet? You know, someone brought that up, and I didn't think the camera was any different than it normally is. I thought it was pretty standard,
Yeah.
but I guess uh, card sharp so expensive. Card sharp so expensive. Give him a break. Uh,
Yeah,
this list
exactly.
makes no sense. It's supposed to be something like you conquer with the mind splitter with the. Oh, okay, we're talking about it. Okay, yes, Rockfall
Yeah, the
Path.
previous one. Well, yeah, none of that works because Mouse gives power. It doesn't give energy, so you can't ever play multiple
So
mind
so
splitters in a turn.
my
There's no way to do
my
that.
my
So
my dear friend Joe Cologne, he won the first ever Naruto TCG Nationals back in 2007, and you got to design a card when you won Nationals. It was just like you got to make like a card. It wasn't in your likeness, but it was just you got to design the effect of a card, and they like I don't know if they chose the flavor you did or what if you chose the scene, but he had a rule though is because they put your name on the card too at the very in like the top right corner. It would say like designed by Son and Winner so and so, but he had a rule that he would not sign non-foiled copies of the card. He would only sign your copies if they were foiled. And I possess, to this day, I possess what I am told is the only non-foil signed copy of Just Like Drifting Clouds. However, I hold the opposite is true. I am a guy who plays normally min rarity. I might max rarity in this event because I pulled both the Rek'Sai over number and the Altar Chosen Champ. However, I am a low rarity guy, and I think it is a crime against humanity. I had someone at Nationals had me sign their Han Solo showcase at Star Wars Nationals. For reference, that was a like $200 card at the time. And I was like, this guy was like, please sign it. And I was like, don't make me do this. And he's like, I don't care, man. I'm just keeping it forever. I'm like, don't do this to yourself. And he's like, please. And I was like, all right. I have a policy. If you bring me foil shit that is worth money, I will not sign it. I am saving you from yourself. I will not allow you to lose money. That's another one of the Challenger TCG guarantees is we make sure that not a dollar spent on us goes to waste, and that includes your cards. So do not bring me your max rarity cards to sign. I will not do that to you. I will not sign any Rockfall Pass, though. I will not endorse that card. I don't care if it's max rarity, lowest rarity, prize card. All right, if they make a Rockfall Path prize card, I'll sign that shit. That's the only shit I'll sign. Like, if you're, I want you to ignite your money on the Rockfall Path prize card. I don't
noted.
want, nobody deserves to earn money off of that, but uh, yes. So,
Mhm.
someone said crazy no Aurelia in top eight. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Uh,
was there no Aurelia in this top
I think
eight? No, there
yeah,
wasn't.
I want to say they cut top 4, so
Is it too
maybe top 4 are
expensive?
all
So
the winners, but yeah,
I have a thought about that too. Is
maybe.
this was not digital. This was physical, and you do have to get 3 Aurelia Sig spells. If you're playing Draven Audacious, you need Draven Audacious. You need the Aurelia Epic. This deck's pretty expensive, so like honestly, it may just be that a lot of players could not like look at. There's not like that many Aurelias. I guess down here, but like It is kind of an expensive
Hmm.
deck to have 2 days after launch. This was on Sunday. Launch was Friday, so uh,
Yeah. It's tough to get the 3/6 spells. Like that's 3 cases on average that you got to open in order to get those, assuming you don't trade for or buy them. So you got to go out of your way to do so. That's kind of why, as we're going back into our original topic of conversation for Bologna, I kind of expect a decent amount of Kaisa for this event, just because it's like a easy deck to upgrade for people. We don't really even know who ended up actually getting into the event. There's like 1,600 people that signed up, and
who is it?
yeah, it filled up instantly. So pretty much anyone could be the people that are showing up. Could be the most casual people who just got lucky with their tickets, or only the diehards who ended up actually getting in. But yeah, I expect a lot of Ezreal, a lot of Kaisa. Obviously, I think Draven will still be the most popular deck. But I think there'll be a lot more Dravens in Vegas than there will be in Bologna. And then, after Aurelia, Kaisa, Ezreal, I think Fiora's been kind of the standout that people seem to like as maybe the fifth most popular deck. Do you have any spicy predictions for Bologna, Alex?
I predict nobody in top 8 will have a Rockfall Path in their battlefield slot. I stand by that,
All
and
right, chat. How do I put a Rockfall Path in my Draven list?
I predict that no one will have uh, not a single person will have Rockfall Path in a top 8 deck list. And you can clip this, chat. Hold me to this. If God, what'll I do? Okay.
You want to eat a
If
sock?
if if there's a Rockfall Path in Top Cut, I will give out. This is what I will give you guys. If there's a Rockfall Path in top 8, you can clip this. I will give out on stream the following stream. I will give out of my own personal money. I will pay this to our group, which I get a quarter of, so it's not as bad. Get a small discount. I will pay this out of my own personal pocket. I will give away a booster box of set 2, a diamond sub, a gold sub, a silver sub, or sorry, a silver sub to our Discord, to be clear, diamond sub, gold sub, silver sub to our Discord, and I will give away a guide of your choosing. I will give away all 5 of these items individually on stream if there is a Rockfall Path in any battlefield in top 8. And I will personally pay this out of my own pocket, not the company pocket, my pocket. That is a 1 month of diamond, 1 month of gold, 1 month of silver, any guide of your choosing, and a full fucking booster box of set 2 out of my own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Mark my words.
I will accept this. However, I want a sixth item added onto this,
What's the
Alex.
6th item?
How
Fine.
about I want a single loan copy, a signed copy of Rockfall Path to ship out to
A
one of our
single
viewers at the
loaned
time.
copy. It will be the only one of it in existence. One of one. Fuck.
Yeah,
I'll get it
one
PSA
of one.
graded. Yes, I'll get it PSA graded. I will send in Rockfall Paths until that'll be the secret giveaway until I get a PSA 10-1, and then I will sign that PSA 10-1 on top. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
If you yes, I will send in Rockfall Paths. Is it a common or a foil one, Colin?
That's up to you.
Okay.
I think
Well,
a common one would be funnier, so
yes,
we'll
it
just
is
go with
definitely a
we'll
common
just do
one.
a
Yes,
regular.
it is 100% a common one.
Yeah,
DM me if Rockfall Path is top
yeah.
8, either Bologna or Vegas. I'll make a custom foiled Rockfall Path I can send you to sign and give away. Send me a DM then and remind me because I won't remember. I'll double down on it. I'll say Vegas or Bologna. Either one. There's a Rockfall Path in top 8. If there's a Rockfall Path in both top 8s, I'll do it twice. I am that
Oh my
confident.
god.
There is zero chance that we have a Rockfall Path in Top Cut. Zero. I will fucking
There you go.
I fucking yeah, clip this shit, fucking take it to the bank, pack it in, motherfuckers. Like I'm ready. I truly believe there is no chance a Rockfall Path makes it.
You guys probably wouldn't play Victor because you like to win, but do you actually like that first place list from Cody? Yeah, I mean Cody's
Yeah,
the
totally.
Victor guy, so I trust
Yep.
him. He won the best of Victor in Houston, so yeah, his list good. So he's a good player, even with the win of Card Sharp.
This is a question for you,
Yeah.
Colin.
Let's see.
Someone said Alan CQ is
Mhm.
hyping up Easy to be the ascended deck with no bad matchups, and he'll get best of Easy easily at Bologna. Think he's memeing.
I mean, I think it's possible that he gets the best of Ezreal at Bologna. I don't think that this deck is as insane as he believes it is with no bad matchups. I struggle to believe that these decks can ever beat Kaisa in a million years. And I also know that it's not that good into Draven. I have experienced their testing firsthand where, or at least Randy came into our Discord and thought he was talking up about how much his group is beating up Draven, and then he played against me, and I lost the first game against him, and I realized what his deck did, and then I 5-0'd him after that. So, and then he went back with his tail between his legs after that. So, I think a lot of people just don't exactly understand how to play Draven, and it plays a lot like Set from Set One. So I've got months of experience playing like these hold strategies and predicting exactly what my opponent's going to do and how to best play around it. So yeah, I think that's why it's worked for me so far, and I do believe that Alon's list will beat a bunch of Dravens who don't understand what's going on. That I can certainly believe. But will it beat me? We'll see. Hopefully, it ends up being a final match for the world to see. I think that would be hype.
Yeah. Someone said, "Why do you think Rockfall Path is so bad?" I think I've explained it a couple times. I'll just keep it brief. I just don't understand because, like, if your opponent wants to stack, unless you've already started stacking the other side, which Victor is not a stack deck, for example, and Cody probably understands why this is here better than I do. Personally, I don't know what the reason is. I'm sure he has a good one. But in most decks, like Rek'Sai, for example, like I see it and I just go, okay, well, like what if they're occupying the other side and they're stacked on that side, and now I can't counter stack on the opposite side. I would have to play with this card more to understand why it is good, but I just don't see like it only prevents stacking on one side. Like if this battlefield said like you can't play cards to like either side, then I would kind of fuck with it. Then I actually think it would be legit. Like actually it might be too good at that point. I don't know, but yeah, I don't understand the function of this. Uh, Colin, do you think it's
It's kind of what I refer to as the camel problem. Whenever everyone's like, "Oh, the camel does everything." The camel is the answer that we've been looking for to Draven because it walls up a battlefield. And if your 6 cost 5 might unit against my deck that's playing Darius and spinning axes somehow does that, and we even say that this hypothetical thing is true, you're spending 6 energy on the camel to wall up, plus like additional spells that you're having to commit to keep this camel around in order to wall up a single battlefield, and then I'm just going to go to the other battlefield. So, like, how are you planning on winning with this strategy? And we saw that in I think my round 3. I played against like a camel Yi list who he went turn 3 camel in game 1. He went turn 2 camel in game 2, and he got absolutely demolished. So, yeah, it's kind of the same thing as Alex is saying, where like if you're trying to just prevent them from sacking a battlefield, the only reason I kind of see it in Rek'Sai is that when you're on like those turns and it prevents them from sacking that battlefield from hand, it allows you to get your first Rek'Sai Conquer trigger because one of the battlefields would be weaker than the other, rather than like being able to stack both. So that's like the only real reason I see it. But that being said, it's still like not a giga impactful battlefield. Just if you're looking for a low impact battlefield that won't affect other player that much.
uh, someone asked, mind if I ask
Thanks
you guys
guys
which prefer?
for
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the
um
rodent. I love the rodent. I love what he does. I love he just slides in, he slides out, he slides in, he slides out. I'm a big fan of the rodent. I like him. He dodges. He's another one of these cards that like doesn't like participate in combat in the same way that a lot of decks do. And then he's like backed up by like this removal that Ezreal, this like removal package that Ezreal has, and he just keeps doing his job. He slides in, he slides out, he slides back, he slides forward. I love the rodent. Big rodent fan.
mhm.
I think
Yeah,
I think
when Rota gets his thing going, I think it's broken. I do think it introduces you to worse issues into Kaisa. just because the rodent gets spawn camped
Read,
and the
read the.
mirror as well. You're spending so many different resources on this rodent that can just get like killed. So
Someone said at Challenger TCG, do you think Cody will have released his Houston Victor Metafy by the time set 10 of Galaxies?
God, that's a screenshot for the ages. I'll go ahead and caption that real quick. We'll DM him
That's
and
gonna
ask
be
you.
going in the that'll be going in our group chat tonight. Don't you worry. And to give you a
Yeah.
very serious answer, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
But he
Do
might
you
have a
think it's
set two
possible you're the
Victor
best
out
Draven player in the world West? I think I'm
in
the
the
best player
West.
in the world, period.
In the
So
West, that's an
yeah.
insult. At least you could say the best Draven
Hmm.
player in the East, and that would be like in the West. Damn, no. Like, wait, no. I'm okay. You know what I'm trying to say though. Like
Yeah, I think you're
he's
mixing it
been.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I don't disregard me. I know what I'm trying. You know what I'm trying to say.
Mhm. At
Um,
least from talking to all of the pro players I know, in quotation marks, because this game's still new. So how many pro players there really are? Uh, the only one I even know that's playing Draven at any of these events is Diwali. So I don't know. We'll see in our matches. Not that the mirror match is the most skill intensive thing. It kind of is in certain points, but yeah, I'll be playing some games against Diwali, the former regional champion, who and is a big fan of mine, and I'm a big fan of him. I think he's a cool dude. So I think that's a person who probably gives me the biggest running for my money, but we'll have to see how that goes.
um,
Um,
seems like Kai'Sa
what do
will
you think
do well.
about Yi for this?
Oh, ye.
Uh,
Nope.
yeah, I see the one after it.
Sell, 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 sell.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think he's very good.
That's a whole
You
deck
got to
that
do all
can't
this camera
hold.
nonsense.
Sell, 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 sell,
Yeah,
sell. It just no.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I think the only start that E has that is like palatable versus Draven is like turn one respawner into turn two Triforce into turn three Camel on the play. And I think if you start
mhm.
exactly that lineup, you will probably beat Draven. But if you do anything
Yeah,
less than that, you will not beat Draven. Uh, you might not
mhm.
even need the respawner turn one. You probably just need to go Triforce into Camel on the play, and then untap. You untap with 8, and you're just like, or untap with 7, I guess, because you attach the Triforce, and you just hold, and just like they probably can't break that realistically. But outside of
Mhm.
that, no. I think he that's a no for me, dog. This set. Mm,
Yeah. Seems like Kai'Sa will do well because the people forgetting to build around her and was just getting smoked by Falling Star. I mean, ish to a degree. I think there are a lot of decks that are cold to like the singularities and Falling Stars, which is why we see lists like the one that Alex has up on screen right now that are very popular. And stuff like these Ezreal decks, I think, are just so low in unit count that you can sometimes just kill them out. But Kai'Sa still has her problems. I don't think her Draven matchup is actually that good. It's like fine, like I said, on the play, you got a good chance game one. If you're on the draw, though, you're probably going to lose unless you have Stoop Star on turn two immediately. It's just like 23% or something like that. So I think she just has a few too many checks right now. But I don't think it's a bad deck. I still think it's like probably like a top three, top five deck just in
uh,
general because it punishes a lot of stuff that exists.
Hi, M. Newt has been asking
So
this question a couple
what's
times. What's more likely to be competitive, Jax or
mhm.
Lucian? And I think it's. I like Jax better. I don't know. It's probably Lucian, but I like the
Yeah,
way
we've seen
Jax
a
plays
higher
better.
placement. We've seen a higher placement out of Jax, I think, in the Chinese events than we have Lucian.
But Lucian's a little more
So
consistent.
I
Usually
think
one or two sneak in, whereas Jax doesn't really, right?
it's
So,
like consistent in the weird way, right? Where it's not, um, where it's like the deck itself is pretty inconsistent because you're on this like combo esque thing, but it's strong enough even without the combo sometimes that's able to make it through Swiss. Jax does have that like one person who got top eight. At least in terms of play rate, Lucian's a little bit more competitive, but who knows? Maybe there's a Jax cook that people just haven't gone with yet. So, do you have any idea why the prices of certain cards are spiking? Spellslinger, for example. I don't think any decks even run, but it's spiked like a lot. I have no idea on Spellslinger. I could promise you that we personally do not have a cook that involves Spellslinger. We did originally. That was one of our lists that we had, was like an orange Spellslinger list that was quite good. And then we played into Brynhir Thunder Song, and we're very sad. So that kind of went down the drain really quickly. I don't know. I just think that there's like the cards right now are the cheapest that they'll ever be. The majority of set two has already been shipped out and opened and ripped for people to sell their singles. So the supply is just going to slowly trickle out, and as people get hyped for this format, after seeing whatever lists win Bologna and whatever list ends up winning Vegas, I think things are just going to continue to go up, especially because we have a second set of regionals that are in set two. With was it Atlanta and I don't remember the other one, or maybe it's Hartford. I don't remember. There's two more regionals in April that are
Lille
still
and
this
Atlanta.
format. So Lille in Atlanta. Okay. And
Yeah,
then I think
we're
Hartford's
hoping.
after that. So
I'm praying for a ban list. I'm hoping. My fear is that it'll be like 6 out of 8 Ravens in top cut, and they'll be like, "See, we told you guys. Look, there's the secret deck. It's right there." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "We can't tell you, but it's right in front of your face. Don't worry."
yeah, I know. Don't worry, guys. You
Uh,
guys know what I'm. Listen, as much as people are disappointed to see me playing Draven or whatever, and not having a secret cook, um, y'all at least know what I'm playing and what I'm doing. So
uh,
that's really it. We don't
I,
have
I,
anything crazy like
I
that.
think I will say this, and this is not a guy I have not bought. I will tell you the only thing I have ordered on TCG Player is 7 Draven Rares, because somebody had 7 of them and they were $1. It's the only thing I have bought. I have not attempted any buyouts. I have not done any sort of market manipulation, and neither has anyone on our team outside of buying like some singles that we needed or like some like three of like a speculative thing. I will tell you this: the prices are suspiciously low. Suspiciously low for a lot of these cards. And I would tell you, if you were a wealthy man or even maybe just a upper middle class wealth type person, I would start considering buying some of this stuff. And I'm not even saying buying out, but just like grab 6 of something that's suspiciously low, grab 9 of something that's suspiciously low, because these prices,
Mhm.
one of two things is going to happen. Either they printed way more than they told us, and these prices are just going to drop like a rock for this set, or people, this is my theory, is that people get their product in, they open a sig, they've already got the price of their product back, and more, because the sigs are so egregious right now in this set, and they go, you know what, I'm just going to sell the rest of my stuff for dirt because I already made my money back. And they're just, everybody's dumping for dirt because they want to get their returns fast. Even if they didn't pull a sig, they're just like, it's like a race to the bottom. But then all that supply dries up and everybody's like, oh, wait, I probably shouldn't have sold Draven 4-drop for $1. That's probably not a dollar card. Um, the one thing I will say
Mhm.
pay attention to is last set, in a case, each color had 1/6 of rare. In this set, it appears that each color has 3/6 of rares. And unless they're like staples, like Switcheroo, I would try to avoid purchasing large amounts of copies of these rares because they are 6 per case. Outside of that, though, I think it's open season right now. I would go fucking crazy on some of this stuff. If you can pick out something good, I would just get it because I think the prices are way too low right now. Even with the random things jumping up, like the Phoenix, the Purple Seals, the Sveller Songer, like there's still something out there that is just way, way, way underpriced, waiting to be bought up. So,
Mhm.
uh,
Let's see. Thank you guys for explanations and breakdowns of a lot of cards and decks. I went to the Spirit Forge pre-ref night to get cards and get this TCG and go to locals. Basically, on chance I'll have to learn and play. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's what these card games are all about. Obviously, we talk about the competitive side of things too, but the vast majority of people just play these games locally, and they just want to have a fun time competing at a local level. So I know card games can feel daunting as we talk about all this sorts of stuff and getting into the competitive roots of all this stuff. But whatever you have fun doing, especially with a card game like this, that's the most important thing. So Um, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe most people don't know how to play Draven well enough, and we won't see it take up a large enough share in top cut for the problem to be apparent just because of that. I mean, metal cards skew the meta. That's a fact. We've talked about that here before. Is that a good thing though? Does that make the
Mhm.
game more healthy just because you're kind of giving people incentive to play off meta decks? No, because if you're trying to go all the way, you still run into the 20% of people or 25 or 30% of people who are playing Draven, and they're prevalent enough throughout the tournament that the problem still exists where I can't play Rek'Sai and ever hope to get top 8 with it, more than likely. It's very unlikely for me to
Yeah.
be able to win 11 out of 13 rounds with a Rek'Sai deck because I am so unfavored into Miracles, or it's rough into Draven if I lose the die roll. Like, decks like that just can't exist. Like, I could never hope to make a deep run. You would never hope to make a deep run with, oh god, sorry, with 90% of the decks that exist right now. And sometimes people do break in, like, you get a Jax, you get, like, all these, like, maybe a Victor, maybe a Set. But one, that's in top 64. Now it's a lot tighter, it's top 8 only. And two, that's like one per tournament. Think of what the conversion ratio on some of these decks is. Like, if there's 30 victors in the tournament and one of them makes it, that's awful. That's not good. Like, your odds are not good. Like, uh, do you want to, like? I mean, and that's probably actually pretty good compared to how many there actually are in a 1,600 person event or whatever. So
Mhm.
I think it just it makes the format unfun because you're having a great time when you're playing the other fair decks, and then you run into Draven and you're just like, well, I'm not having fun anymore. Like, I can tell you, I was having a blast when me and
Yeah.
Cody were playing Rek'Sai versus Victor. Granted, I did say I feel favored, but like, it was just good. It was just like, wow, this game is thought provoking. We're having a good time. We're like actually thinking. We're both playing like somewhat fair mid range decks, and then you just play Draven, and it's just like the horse just shits all over you. It's like you pull up the horse's tail and it just blows shit all over you. It's you're not having fun anymore. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, uh,
I think it's a crass but good way to put it. In China, we saw the conversion ratio on all these decks, and in the early events, it was like 30% Draven played and like 70% of top cut. That doesn't happen with a balanced deck. I promise you that. That's why you have to take averages, and that's a sign of a deck that's so overpowering that it's able to just beat everything and completely run through Swiss. And that's what I personally am worried about as we get into Nexus Nights and stuff. People just aren't going to have fun playing into this Draven deck. And I think that's something that the people at Riot, if they ever listen to these functional podcasts that we put out, the one thing I would love to really critique them on is that you can't just go off of what is the most competitive thing because of, as Alex said, the metal card incentive. I know a vast majority of very good players that have decided not to play the best deck, not because they don't believe it's the best deck, but because they're more incentivized to get a metal leader than they are to try and win the entire event with Draven. So you have to be one of 1,600 people. And that's just not feasible in a card game. Like, even the best people, even me, I've got single digit odds of winning the next event, right? And
and
that's maybe even putting it lightly. So it's just a gamble at the end of the day, and that's just what you have to understand with card games. So yeah, that's all to say that I worry about this game at a local level. I would not be surprised to see people having like local Draven / Aurelia bans or something like that to make it playable.
uh,
Do I play other games, other card games, or other video games? Because the answer is yes to both, but I don't actively play any card games other than Riftbound. But I've played, you know, Fab, Flesh and Blood, Dragon Ball Super, uh, Argent Saga, Battle Spirits, bunch of small butthole card games, and then I've obviously played Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh at some point, just not super competitively.
so someone asked,
Um,
and we've been dodging, not dodging, but we've managed to miss this question all night. I've had like four different people ask this. Maybe it's the same person, but Purple Tulip says, "You you think Annie will make top cut?" And people have asked. I've seen like
hmm.
five Annie questions. We keep missing them. It's not intentional, I swear. Talk about Annie a little bit for us, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, the issue whenever you have and we've seen this in previous card games as well with like One Piece and stuff, but whenever you have a color identity card game where you have to play a set combination of two colors and you have a leader that is Draven and a leader that is Annie, well, Annie is still good, but does Annie do enough unique things that Draven does not that it makes her worth playing? Obviously, the 2 additional energy is quite nice, but so is drawing 10 cards and having the best chosen champion in the game and spinning axe. So it becomes a thing of where if I'm looking at playing purple red, I can either play Draven or I can play Annie, and I know which side that I'm probably going to end up being on. Personally, at least, because just the extra cards and the way that it makes your opponent have to play the game is quite oppressive out of Draven. So I don't think Annie is a bad deck. It's certainly possible that it makes top 8, but it ends up just becoming another Draven deck, you know. And one of the Chinese events, we saw. I really wish I could find this screenshot, but somebody sent me a screenshot that showed the average card percentage in Top Cut, and Rebuke was 83% of the top 64 decks, when in reality, the format was balanced a little better, only a third of the decks should ever be purple that even have access to this card, let alone the fact that 83% of decks were playing Rebuke. And that was just one of those events, but if you were to go through all of them, I'm sure the numbers would look very, very similar for all of them, because every purple deck was playing that. Yeah, Dragon Ball Super, like whenever that came out, you know, I played
It's called
Mecha
Master.
Frieza
It's been
format.
retconned into Masters.
It's
Is what it's
Master.
called. Yeah.
I see, because now they have Fusion World. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that one. During set one, set two, you know, I got top 16, I think, at the first regional they ever had on Ginyu, and then I got top 4 at the second regional that was hosted by ARG over in Orlando. And then I did some place somewhere at the Tournament of Power DLM Max event, but um, yeah, I played a lot of card games. Just only really competed in the smaller ones because I think that's where the money's at. It's very hard to stand out amongst the thousands of quote unquote pro Magic players who are grinding 16 hours a day when I can just go to a game I like a lot more and really stand out on top. And I've been able to do that pretty consistently, I think, uh, so far. So, what do you think of the
Um,
new Neo Unit Victor list? It's fine. I think it's
I like
a
it.
little bit too
I'm a
all in.
fan.
Decks like that are just gonna.
It's a good
Yeah, I know Alex likes
coin
it.
flip deck. It's like if you wanted a metal card, these are the types of decks I like because it has a bunch of very polarizing matchups. So you're really just playing a true lottery system where like, oh, I hit all the juice matchups, crank, 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 like just go to town on them. It's very polarizing in its matchup spread, in my opinion. And I kind of like if you're just metal carding, those are the kind of decks I like to play because now like if you didn't want to like put a whole bunch of time into it too, it's kind of like Aurora where it's like kind of like brainless almost once you get into these matchups where it's just like, oh, this is just a freebie. Like I'm gonna just roll over it. This deck can't ever beat me. And it just kind of like you're kind of just going to the casino, honestly, if like sometimes with
Hmm.
matchup roulette. So I kind of fuck with that strategy for metal leader. As for like a serious like top 8 deck, I think it's just too polarizing. Like you're just really, like I said, you're really just trying to get lucky with your matchups if you do that.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's basically my take on it, and something that I hope they improve in the future. Like, you have to understand that the difference between the guy who got second, like we'll take this Runes and Rift an example, but the guy who got second and the guy who got first, the only difference is a single match, right? Like I didn't lose a match that entire event, but you know, if say I had eked into top cut at X11 or something like that, and there was a guy who just XO'd Swiss to be first seed, and then I just so happened to have the God run through the entire event, and that guy actually ended up losing to me, well, then his record was actually better than mine throughout the entire Swiss because I was X11 and barely eked into top cut, where his record was X1. So that guy actually performed better than me, and you know he could have been knocked out in the first match of that top cut. So it's very difficult for me whenever I see at least like I think for me I understand that it's very possible. It's a card game. Like you can get unlucky at any point in time throughout a top cut, and that's a single elimination bracket once we're getting into top cut. So there's just times like you're gonna make top cut and you're just gonna fumble your decks. You're gonna miss your 2-drop on turn 1, and that's not gonna show in the results. You could have been the best player in that event. You could have had the best list in that event, and maybe you're in top 32, top 16, whatever. Just because you fumbled a couple times, you had some really clunky draws. You, as Alex makes fun of me for it, you drew your 1%er of your bad hand, and
Dude,
it can happen to the best of us. So.
this guy in testing, when he loses, this guy talks about the 1% more than Bernie
I haven't done
Sanders.
this in weeks, by the way.
Well, he hasn't
Weeks.
lost much. That's why. But when he starts losing, you'll hear single-digit percentages tossed out like they're nothing. Like it's crazy. Like, but yeah, this is losing to the 1%er is definitely ass. Does Lucian have a sideboard?
So,
does Lucian have a sideboard? There you go.
But
this was just something I had on screen to keep your.
Yeah, this is all just on riftx.com. This is all super public info. So if you ever want to look through tournament results and just see everything that's posted, I definitely recommend it because these are good lists that are starting points. So yeah, I just hope that they take the average conversion ratio and use that a little bit more so than just X deck. I was so sad when I saw Kaisa win the third event, just because I knew that they were going to use that as an excuse to be like, oh look, something other than Draven actually won an event, not taking for the fact that Draven's had an absurd conversion ratio. I would argue that Draven's conversion ratio in the first 2 events is probably higher than any other deck we've seen in like any other card game ever. Like it's that crazy that, I mean, to go like a 3 times conversion ratio is unheard of. I don't know if it's quite that, maybe 2.5, something like that. But it's very, very rare that you see that in card games.
I want to do a few more questions before we end the night, but I want to do a guide giveaway for no good reason other than that we got a lot of people here right now. I think this would be a great time to do a guide giveaway. Where would you put Ornn on the tier list? Like bottom of C tier, probably. It's just another deck that suffers the Bring Here problem, which is in every deck pretty much in the meta that plays red right now. So,
yeah, I think that Ornn deck is actually really good. If it wasn't for Bring Here, so
yeah,
it exists.
What are our thoughts about Vex or P Yasuo? What is P Yasuo?
Yasuo.
Purple Yasuo. Oh, right, because he comes into the. I hate Vex. I do not understand this card. I don't understand why it's good. Maybe I just haven't played with it enough. I feel like I do not get this card. I've been a day one Vex hater. Its biggest problem with me is it has to be in combat, which means there needs to be an opposing unit, and that's why I don't like this card. I don't like Vex. I don't understand Vex. I don't think it's good. I think that's the biggest issue is it has to be fighting another unit for an effect that it's like slow, it costs a lot, it costs power, and it's for an effect that I deem is like it's a fine effect, but it's not. It's just like this thing can't ever just solo conquer by itself. I don't really understand the hype behind it. I don't think it's very good. We're gonna do a giveaway here. So I'm gonna do a giveaway. What is the keyword? We're gonna give away a rainbow guide, so a guide of your choosing, just one tonight, just one. A guide of everyone's choosing. Thank you. Shout out my boys at Challenger TCG. Those guys are great. So multiple Riftbound podcasts are now saying, "See, we told you Draven wasn't that bad." See what? What am I supposed to see? See that it's fucking 30% or more of every top cut? Like, what is there to see? Like, like that it's won almost every event except like one. Like, come on. Like, I got okay, 2, whatever. Like,
yeah,
sure,
yeah. But again, you have to factor the fact that like that was a thing where people just wanted their invite off of the event, and that's why we saw the Draven percentage play drop. Was probably people got bored of playing the broken deck and wanted their metal card or something like that. So there are outside factors. This is not like Magic we're incentivized to only play a single deck that is broken for the entire event. If that was the case, the percentage, I mean, I think we're going to really see it at Charlie's event on the 14th, as well as the PPG, assuming that they don't take any action until then. That's where we're going to see the absurd Draven percentages, where there's no incentive to play anything other than what you think will win. So I think at that point is where we'll get like an actual proper look at what the real meta is, as opposed to the meta that is shifted because of alternative, um, reasons for you to actually exist and do these things. So, yeah, the pure cash event meta, those are the ones that really are going to show where the issue is.
So what's our giveaway word here, Colin? We need a giveaway word so people can enter here.
This is a you thing, man. You figure it out. You're running this shindig. I'm just along for the ride. I'm here to look pretty. Talk to the chat.
God, what's our okay? Well, in honor of the worst card ever printed in Riftbound. No, it's not the worst card ever printed, but it's not even close. In fact,
Aurora.
We're gonna have the keyword today be Rockfall Path. There you go, guys. So the word for the giveaway is Rockfall Path. Spam that chat with Rockfall Path. You only get one entry each, of course. And we're gonna draw one person to win a guide of their choosing tonight. So just one. That's it. We're not gonna give them out like crazy. We're gonna do this one. And now that you're all stuck here, have I told you about the Challenger TCG Metafy? Yes, it's rare that I do two of these in one night. Yeah, I know, but if they're getting the guide, they're listening in. Like if they're getting a free guide, we should start giving out a free subscription here too, maybe. But if they're getting the guide, they're sitting here. I'll make this one
this
shorter.
Is more complicated, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this one quick because you already got the full one. $10 a month, guys. You get access to our Discord. That's got the whole squad in there. It's got me. It's got Colin. It's got Daniel. It's got Cody. We've got new members who've just joined in. We've got Min. We've got Coco. We got Rossum. Who else did I miss? Daniel. Shit, I got to pull up the list right now just to make sure I don't forget anybody and they yell at me. Matt, who you probably don't even know who he is, but that's the guy yelling at you on our Twitter. If you say something disrespectful to us, he'll say something disrespectful back to you. We've got Trevor. Oh, I'm going down the list. We got Joe. We got Anton. We got the whole squad in there. So we're all talking in there, but we've also got 342 other people who are in there talking too. Actually, 345 now. We got 3 more since the stream started. So we've got all these people talking there. Just $10 a month. You get full access to our Discord. 20, full access to our deck list. 50, you get to submit your own VODs, which we will review in the Discord every single week for no extra charge. You get guide discounts, guys. 30% at $10, 50% at $20. All of our guides free as long as you are a Diamond subscriber at $50. We do coaching. We're going to start hosting. We're going to start doing like a leaderboard in there. We already have it up and going, but we're really going to start pumping it next month. I mean, we've got everything you could want. We've got off topic. You want to talk about your favorite TV show? Go ahead, guys. We got that in there. We have everything going. We're going to start doing poker nights just for the fuck of it. Why not? So we're doing absolutely everything we can to make this Discord your number one choice for Riftbound Discords. And we're already the number one Riftbound Discord on all of Metafy. Soon to be, hopefully, the number one Discord on all of Metafy. Actually, we might be. I don't know. It's not all public, so I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm working that out with them to see if they'll tell me when we're number one. I don't need to know where everybody else is at, just that we're number one. So, but yes, guys, come check us out. And if you can help us out, please help us out with a Twitch Prime sub. We would love that, guys. It helps us out a bunch. You got Amazon. You get a free Amazon Prime sub. Don't give it to your favorite streamer you'll never meet. You'll meet me. If you go to an event, you can find me. Just look for the guy who's shouting the loudest and pacing back back and forth frantically. That's me. Almost 100%
Unfortunately,
certain.
yeah.
With almost 100% certainty, if you hear a guy screaming in a judge dispute because he thinks his opponent's screwing him over, with almost 99% certainty, that is me. Okay, that's not true. There are a lot of people that do that, but there's a good chance it's me. So thank you guys. And don't forget to hit that rockfall path in the chat, guys. Keep hitting that. How much is the tier to have you sit in as me for an online tournament? I mean, I don't know what that do because you could just pay us to give you all of our prizing. That's the same thing, right? Like if Colin just entered it, like Colin could enter as your account. I don't see the difference. Like if he's just playing as you the whole tournament, it's just a screen name, right? Like it doesn't matter as long as he never
Yeah.
switched players. He's not even breaking the rules. He could just enter as your name in a tournament. It's your username. There's no rule that says Colin can't enter as any username he wants. And as long as you never switched places with him in that tournament, that's legal. So if you wanted it to do it like that, like shit, I guess we could fucking like as long as you're not impersonating shit. If you want to clout farm that, we could do that, right? That's not against the rules, Colin, right? Like that's legal. Is that legal? I think
To
it's
what?
legal. Yeah, fucking enter as these
To what? And
motherfuckers.
play on a
Just
different.
yeah, I mean,
I don't think so. They'll probably
no,
have some sort of rule about against that,
no.
but
But
will
like,
they?
you could change your name to his, right? Like, if it's your account, you just change your name to his. Like, what difference does it make? Oh, you can't
Oh
play in
yeah,
a
sure. That's all possible.
Oh, you can't do an in-person tournament. Like I thought you meant like an online tournament. In-person one, no, that's hella against the rules. You definitely can't. No, you said online.
Yeah.
No. Online, who gives a fuck? As long as you're not pretending it's to be you, like there's no rule against that. Your screen name, like as long as Colin's saying it's him on the back end, like yeah, he can pretend to be you. Like shit, don't matter.
I zoned out for a second. I have no idea what schizo rant Alex is on, but I'll just believe it's for the best.
Uh, Wait, there's poker nights. Where the hell have I been? We haven't got it yet. We're gonna have one soon. Hopefully in the not these 2 weekends because
Yeah.
we're away, but Rockfall Path,
Yeah, it'll
Rockfall
probably be a
Path.
thing
We could
soon.
you said we could slap your ass at any regional. We have the clip saved. Yeah, fucking slap my ass. Go for it. I'm ready. Uh, Jokes on you. I love a good ass slapping. So get ready. Like
Who doesn't?
Get your paddles. Uh, Booty Picks subscribe with Prime. Thank you, Booty Picks. Speaking of getting my ass slapped. MRG Big J, you're the GOAT, buddy. That's the greatest Dragon Ball Masters player of all time. Speaking of Dragon Ball Masters, the first ever Dragon Ball Masters champion, MRG Big J. He in the chat with us right now.
Oh yeah. Yo.
Uh,
Hopefully, I'll see him at a Riftbound event at some point again. I think we saw him at Houston, right?
what's up?
But you doing this giveaway or what? You still handling that?
Yeah. So, all right, we'll fucking give you another 30 seconds, and then we're doing the giveaway, and that's it probably.
Hmm.
Uh, Rockfall Path.
Rockfall Path, the Ghost.
Mm,
My favorite.
all right, we're gonna make the drawing. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 and the winner is Poop Cow. Wow. Congratulations,
Okay.
Poop Cow, on your win. Please message us on Metafy or Discord to collect your free guide. Uh,
Oh. That's a name for all time.
So, okay. So we'll answer some final questions. What do we got going on here?
Yeah.
It's tough to listen
Yeah,
to a whole
Alex's
video
rants.
when 75% is Alex. All right, Strike Art. Let's get a top. Let's hear a topic. What? Ask us a question. What do you want to know? I won't rant. There you go. I'll give you this
Mhm.
one
Yeah,
on
we
the
could just
out.
mute Alex if you want.
Yeah, I can mute me.
I can take
Yeah.
care of it too. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah,
congrats,
he's
poop cow.
Alex is something you gotta get used to. You know, it's he's a certainly a
Poop
character, that's for
cow. You
sure.
can message us on Metafy at Challenger TCG, or you can message us on Discord if you're on the Discord with us. Uh, if
Yeah,
not, I think you can
or
also message us through. You're on YouTube. I don't think you can You might be able to message us through YouTube. I forget if YouTube has a messenger system.
I don't think YouTube does. I don't know. Worst case, you can add me on Discord. I'm just Argan, ARGAN.
That that's
Uh,
a that's a
or
great channel points one. Is you can mute my mic in the middle of any rant. That would be a broken one. Uh,
yeah, that would actually be pretty
oh
good.
my
We'll have to
God.
give that to the Twitch people with. Yeah.
Why does Anton hate Minotaur Reckoner? I don't like Minotaur Reckoner either. I think it's just slow and clunky, and it just doesn't like. Already had like a whole reasoning. I already explained Minotaur Reckoner. You can talk to them, Colin. I've already had this discussion like 3 times why I hate Minotaur Reckoner. Let me.
Hey, we did a chat. We actually tired Alex out, you know.
Yes.
He's gone too far. So, okay. I'll assume this is you.
Uh.
That works.
a-
Are
any.
you poop cow?
Uh.
You can type in
Yes.
chat your
Yes.
Discord username while you're
We'll
stuck.
have an option where you can donate $1 to mute Alex, but you can also pay $1 to unmute Alex. So we'll see who wants to pay more.
Let's just go.
Who wants more? Who wants Alex muted more, or who wants Alex unmuted more? And we'll find out real quickly by our donations. And then,
Um,
uh, so
yeah.
yeah, the
Okay.
paywall.
I'll have
Um,
Alex DM me the code and then
yes. Uh,
this one. Okay.
any thoughts on Azir? I don't know. I'm not like I don't love Azir. I don't hate Azir. I think it's a deck that's very susceptible to Thermo Beam. Um, that's my biggest issue with Azir. I think is just that like your deck is relies on stacking up all these weapons over the course of the game, and when you get Thermo Beamed, it kind of just like is a hard reset, especially if you don't already have a big board. It also turns off your signature spell for a good chunk of the game, which I find is an issue with it. So yeah, I'm not the biggest I'm not the biggest fan of Azir, but I don't hate it either. Like I do like Victor as a deck, and Azir kind of like falls in line with that. So like I would like to see like it's a deck that I would come back to once if Draven and some of the Miracles decks got cut out. It was a deck I tried to play a little bit early on, but I just don't think it's quite there yet. Like I said, don't hate it, don't love it.
Mhm.
Mm, let's see. I'll take like one more question here. Uh, yeah, I mean to make the question about okay. Do y'all feel like best of one is a more viable format with the new sideboard rules than best of one? No, I hate best of one. I think the only game I would
Yeah.
ever want best of one for is in Pokemon, and that's because slow playing is such a problem in that game. That's the only game.
It works in Flesh and Blood too, but they designed the game that way so that you have like a pre-sideboard and stuff. So they like literally when they made the game in set one before set one even came out, they designed it around best of one because they realized how long the games took and that it needed to be best of one. So the reason I never played One Piece, for example, despite the amount of money that was in it, was because I cannot stand the best of one formats. It just feels like it's a roll of the dice.
Alex, are you updating the Rixai guide before Bologna? Matt just sent me the revised copy back. I'm gonna put it all in there. It's gonna be updated. I'm at the very least tonight getting out the updated list and the reasons for my changes. I promise you I'll try to have Ezreal out by end of day tomorrow, the Ezreal matchup. Maybe I'll throw in like a Fiora matchup too. It's just hard because there's not a lot of other decks doing well consistently outside of the ones that I've already highlighted in the guide. So yes, I promise you, I will have the list updated tonight. Ezreal, I'm going to try to finish. It was a 2 hour coaching session into like a 1 hour break into this, so I apologize, but yes, that is out tonight. It's already done. It just needs to be placed in the MetaFi, and then I will push through that update, and you guys will get to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Need content creators to start saying gear is bad and that people don't need to side thermal beam anymore. I mean, I'll say it myself. I think that gear is pretty bad and you don't need to side thermo beam anymore. I think I will maybe still have one for this event just because like it is just such a silver bullet that catches a lot of things. But I think that's the real issue with thermo beam and the decks that need it is just there's so many random decks you can just run into that just get absolutely fried by thermo beam. So it's just a low cost. But yeah. Everyone going to Bologna should use Rockball Pass as gold tokens. Maybe we'll bring an extra stack and start handing them out. But yeah. So to make.
Okay, I think that's about it for tonight. I think. Any final thoughts, Colin, to wrap it up?
No, I mean, definitely keep an eye out for how we do in Bologna. I know that I have the Diamond stream tomorrow, but I think Alex and Anton might try and stream from Bologna on Wednesday.
That's TBD.
That one's still a TBD.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We
But
don't
you
know for
might get
sure, so we can't
a
promise on that
hotel.
one.
You might get a hotel appearance.
Yeah,
from me and
we'll have to
Anton, we'll
see,
see.
and then obviously we'll be trying to do content once we're back. There's like a very brief interim in which we're back between now and Vegas, but hopefully we'll be able to have good news, or maybe it'll be bad news. It'll be terrible. We all scrubbed. It is a 1,600 person event, so like I said, even I'd be lucky to get single digit odds on doing well at this event, just given the amount of people that are there. So yeah, hopefully we'll come back and have good news for everybody.
All right, guys, that'll be all from us tonight. Thanks again for tuning in.